Check that. There we go. Now we got some traction. Alrighty. Hey everybody, TenebrisTenshi, how you doing? What's up, buddy? Check tests. Well, it usually only happens when my mic isn't working initially. Anyway, so let's get a couple things rolling here because apparently I did not set up enough, even though I got everything back rolling as much as I could. First things first. Capture. Ah. I had a feeling. Oh. Email. Wonderful. We'll just redo that. How you guys doing? We got started, which is fine. We can actually still do it while all this other stuff happens. Audio. Yeah, I actually do want it. Regardless of whether or not that was what I wanted. There we go. Ta-da! Wonderful. Now we're gonna have crazy shit. There we go. All right, good enough. Okay, so hey everybody. How you guys doing? One thing that I was gonna do, that's right. So one of the things I wanted to do tonight, and I was able to get it all done. Remember how I said I had multiple tarot decks? Well, I finally went and dug one of them up. Actually, my favorite one. There we are. And I figured we'd go through some of them for funsies, but you know what? Let's wait till. But just so you know, it's the Fae Tarot. The Fae. So it shouldn't be that bad to show off. Actually, how was the original here? What we did last time, because we were having some issues with it. Interesting that it's capturing it much easier. I guess when it's in front of me, it's easier. Yeah, it tries to hide it. What about this one? Just out of curiosity. Yeah, no, same. Okay. Well, I'll keep that in mind for future times when you kind of show off tarot stuff. But for now, I have created some awesome stuff for us, so let's, boom, boom. But that didn't work. Why? Hold on, I'll mute that just so that we don't have like double weirdly audio. That's not the one I want to open up. Thank you. There we go. Now that should work. Now when I do this, huzzah! We can go here, and that'll work. I'm gonna just make sure that I close up the other thing that I didn't want opened. I have plenty of things open right now, and I don't need anything crazy right now. Wonderful. We're in good hands, good stuffs. But here we go. Aw, it's not full screen. That's okay. everybody's fixed. Now I just need to make sure that my secondary screen. Little guy's feeling a little sick today. If you hear him hacking up a storm in the background, I've given him Mucinex. So hopefully, it'll be okay. Hold on. Let me make sure that this transform is okay. No. Perfect. I'm up there. We're getting there, and we'll get kicked off in a second. That's not what I wanted to hit. Why do I hit all these weird things? Stuff. Go away, stuff. Why you gotta be so scuffed? There we are. I think we're as Gucci as we're gonna make it. Wonderful. Anyway. So hello. Again. Breathe here. Let's get into the P4 stuff because we got a lot of stuff to get through, I bet. Much as I didn't wanna. Hello. Not what I wanted to do. There we go. So we have a P4 thing that I blindsided me like crazy. Where are we?
The death of everything, but also the beginning.
I know who this is. He's supposed to be dead. So we must be in the past.
People have filled the world, yet turned it into a void. The only hope of salvation lies in ruin.
I forgot that this guy's just bonkers wild.
Did you work in a zoo? Because that's one huge pile of shit you're pushing around.
Your own, you know.
So, how'd that turn out for you, Dad? It doesn't matter now that you're dead as a doornail, does it?
That was weird. Hold on.
You wanted the world destroyed, huh? Isn't that right, you worthless pest? Fine, I'll do it.
Now we're gonna tweet. I need to get better at that because I am just absolutely terrible. I don't think I've done it at all this week. That. Tweet. Oop. Perfect. At least it's perfect as I'm
This
gonna make it.
shitty
Right now.
world with its shitty people and shitty lives will disappear. After
Calm
all,
down,
if the
Ryuji.
father's fallen into darkness, then the sun must rise. Just kidding.
Nonsense. I wonder what it was, or if they just kind of made up a joke here, where there was none.
What nonsense.
What?
These constructs can only remain active within my red fog. Even then, they can only do so for a limited amount of time. If you have time to waste with worthless sentiment, hurry up and complete your preparations.
Ha! You've got no sense of humor. Keep up your whining and I'll have to kill you too.
Such impudence. Take them. They are your pawns.
Another labyrinth?
They're pretty well made. Fine, I've got the power I borrowed from you too. So now there's no way I could lose.
Uh-huh.
Well then, time to make like a tree and turn over a new leaf or whatever.
It's hilarious that that's oh god, I'm forgetting her name, but I can see her face now. Gosh dang it, the Hermit in 5. Her like catchphrase leaving is the proper way to say this.
A puppet version of a puppet. I'll make sure you get the job done this time.
Stop it.
Now let's
My
begin.
brain just hello.
For the sake of his world.
Sonic. In his world. Wow. He wasn't kidding about the puppet stuff. It was like robots. Ooh. Because I don't know who speak English, just be generic. May 5th, afternoon. I'm at the Shadow Operatives lab.
I've finished going through Labrys's personality module and control links.
Is it Fuka? No, Fuka-san's voice echoes through the machinery-lined room where she works as the operator. It seems that it'll be a little more time till she's be finished with her work.
I knew we could count on you.
I'm sorry that I asked you for such a big favor.
Oh no, I couldn't.
We got 3
possibly
people
stand
here.
by
Who's
after
the
something so
who's the
important
speaker?
happened.
And don't get me wrong, probably if it was written in Japanese, I would know who the speaker is off the bat because of the way that he or she speaks. And usually to certain characters, sometimes with Japanese, they'll specify a certain speaking style. Like for example, we would know automatically if it was Labrys, if it was Kansai Ben, but it's English, and there's no real shorthand Brooklynese there that would make me go, ah, yeah, that's Labrys.
But is it really all right for me to be doing this? Aren't you all part of some kind of police organization now?
There's no need to be concerned. Even now that we've become the Shadow Operatives, this lab belongs solely to the Kirijo group.
Shadow Operative. I'm going to assume that it's Mitsuru at the moment because I feel like this direct explanation to what they are, it would be something Mitsuru does. Special unit under the direct supervision of the National Police Agency, organized to deal with supernatural cases that normal police would be unable to respond to. In other words, cases dealing with shadows. This is one of the laboratories under the management of the Shadow Operatives. The purpose of this place is to mainly analyze evidence gathered in the shadow-related cases, analysis of shadow matters for scientific understanding and planning operations. Another objective is the maintenance and inspection and service for the anti-shadow weapons, such as myself. Anti-shadow weapons such as myself. So this is either... Now I'm correcting myself. Again, see? We didn't know who the speaker was until this point. Now we've narrowed it down to 2. Either Igus or Labrys. The very detailed nature of the speaking makes me think that it's Igus. Since I am a member of the Shadow Operative, and I am classified as a weapon due to my mechanical nature, I periodically undergo maintenance at this facility. Directly after the inauguration of the Shadow Operatives, Mitsuru-san had a state-of-the-art packing case prepared to transport me. Oh. Labrys? Ah, there you go. So no, it's Igus. However, the one slumbering within this case is my sister, who is also our newest teammate, Labrys, a 5th-generation anti-shadow suppression weapon.
I finished investigating Labrys's mobility systems. All I have to do now is reboot her OS and perform some final checks.
Thank you. How is she?
She'd sustained some heavy structural damage,
So this
so
must
I was worried.
definitely between.
But thankfully, none were critical.
So this is after P4U1, but still before what we just experienced in the other story. Since my sister had been forced to push herself far beyond her limit during the events of the other day, her entire body had taken serious damage. I'm glad that she's okay. Fuka-san's words caused me to sigh with
I
relief.
see. And what did you recover from her memory?
I'm sorry. I searched through it, but I found no records that would lead to finding the one behind what happened. If we want to pursue him any further, we'll have to wait for a report from intelligence. But it seems that will still take some time.
I see.
I see Mitsuru-san tighten her fist with that quiet utterance. The culprit is someone capable of manipulating the data in my sister's memory. The possibility that they would make the mistake of leaving a trace leading to themselves is extremely low. Even when one knows the outcome, people often feel indignant when the last bit of hope is crushed. It's understandable. Our ability to find out who kidnapped my sister has been completely stymied.
Then we have no clues to go on.
Don't be so hasty. We might get new leads from intelligence, right?
Ever since that attempted airplane hijacking, we've learned that the Public Safety Division has been making some disquieting moves. If we don't make a move soon, there's no telling what they'll do to take advantage of the situation. We have to find a lead before they do anything.
Something just occurred to me. Something major just occurred to me. Somebody in the government is trying to push back on Mitsuru and her power with the Kirijo group. Is this the start of P5 in technicality? I mean, not in actuality, obviously. But something that leads into P5, much like how the answer kind of led somewhat into P4. Anyway. Though Akihiko-san has known Mitsuru-san for a long time, Mitsuru-san's expression remains stiff as he tries to console her. But that is only natural. The Shadow Operatives are still in a delicate position with regards to where we stand within the National Police Organization. A seemingly suspicious group founded by an outsider and dealing with crimes outside the capabilities of the normal police force. We are often met with cold stares from people who should be our fellow investigators when we are dispatched on cases. The logic of such actions eludes me, but I cannot pretend that they do not exist.
I understand how you feel, Mitsuru-san, but we must solve one problem.
I think I'm a little bit too robotic.
That is why we have gathered here today.
She's still robotic to some degree, but she's less robotic than she was. I'm picturing earlier P3, I guess, or beginning of Answer P3, I guess. She's a lot more human by the end of P3 Journey, and obviously after the fact. So I need to keep that in mind with my voice acting.
You're right. I'm sorry. Please work with me here in reviewing what information we already know.
Mitsuru-san implores us for assistance. Our gathering here at the lab today isn't just to hear about the results of Fuka-san's test on my sister. We've come here to share and review the information we have, to inspect the clues as closely as possible, to get to the culprit as quickly as possible.
The person behind this case first stole Labris, the 5th-generation anti-shadow suppression weapon, while she was in transport.
Yes. The hijacking of the airplane you were on was a diversion used to conceal the theft of my sister, after which she was transported to Inaba.
Correct. The hijackers were subdued and captured, but we have reason to believe that their minds were under some kind of control.
Mm-hmm. Those who hijacked the plane and transported the case had no memory of taking part in the crime. They did not recognize one another, had nothing in common, and we were all ordinary citizens with no prior criminal record. They did, however, all claim that their testimonies that they saw red eyes. Though their interrogations are still ongoing, it seems we won't have long before they are released. With all these points taken into consideration, it becomes apparent that this is no ordinary crime.
The culprit waited until he arrived in Inaba to turn Labris on and fiddle with her memory. And then he threw her into the TV world, right?
Where one's heart and memories manifest themselves. As a machine, Labris was able to control these memories in great detail. In other words, the enemy used her in order to set a trap for us.
Give or take.
When we entered the television world in pursuit, we defeated her shadow and made indirect contact with the culprit.
That person revealed that his goal was to steal our personas by making us fight each other, which would weaken our hearts and turn our personas to shadows. Once he'd accomplished that, he would combine them all so he could have even more powerful shadows.
Everyone falls silent. The mysterious person's motive was to gather and unify shadows. This is all too similar to something that those of us gathered here will never forget.
Shuji Ikutsuki.
The culprit's speech pattern is consistent with Ikutsuki-san's mannerisms. His inability to use a persona matches him as well. But that's not possible!
That's right. We've confirmed Ikutsuki's death.
Or maybe there's someone out there besides Ikutsuki who still thinks the same way he did.
If so, then the world we strive for is still far away.
Mitsuru-san sounds as if she's in agony. Shuji Ikutsuki, 3 years ago, he became fascinated with the fall and tried to bring about the end of the world using shadows. Mitsuru-san, he is also the adversary that robbed her of her precious father.
Yamagishi, when
spoke
Labrys
to robotic.
awakens, can you give her
Man,
a summary of the case from
That
3
balance
years
is hard to
ago?
hit. But she's not clearly human. She's still got some robotic to her, but it's not that heavy.
I'd like her to know what went on while she was sealed.
I understand.
Can't you just stick that data into her memory?
If we did that, it would just become a piece of data to her. She needs to be told about it in order for her mind to understand what happened.
Interesting.
She's human through and through, huh?
Also, I noticed something when I was checking her memories. The makeup of Labrys's memory field is slightly different from Igus's.
It would make sense. She's an older by 2 stages, I believe, because I think Igus is 7th gen, right?
Besides the memory area that she normally accesses, there seems to be a sub-network of some sort. She has 2 memory networks? I think it was probably used to incorporate the feedback from her sibling units, but I still don't know for sure.
Oh, and that's the thing that made her go crazy, because of the fact that she felt the pain from her other unit. Wonderful!
That's why I believe it's safer to tell her in person.
All right, I'll let you tell her however you see fit. Regarding Ikutsuki, I'm pressuring staff to hurry and review the information, including the newly discovered quarantine server at Ergo Research. We never knew about the server in question before now, because it had been cut off from the group's network.
Then how did they put anything in there without anybody knowing? Sorry, whenever there's an IT excuse for something happening, I sit there and I go, but how? This is why I could never get it sorted out online. It's like, oh yeah, you can't take the helmet off or it'll surprise the person's brain. You can't do this, you can't do that. It's like, and you can't find where the server is to shut down the server safely. Bullshit. There's no way in hell that he could have got all of that. And you can still trace that shit.
It most likely has information that normally would have never left Ergo Research, such as data on top secret experiments.
Okay, so kind of like not a honeypot, like a reverse honeypot. You put whatever is even more secret than usual, you put it in there and it doesn't really get access elsewhere. But then now you have a lot of people who are physically trafficking towards that server because you can't get it through the network. So but it still stands to reason. How was it not known that that existed? Ikutsuki-san could still be involved in this case. Mitsuru-san's worry and irritation may be because she senses that possibility. We can all understand the pain she must be in.
By the way, what was the logic behind that whole midnight channel thing?
It's still unknown, but we'll have to send people to Inaba again. We're going to hold a meeting at headquarters tomorrow to discuss countermeasures.
Red alert. Red alert. Suddenly, an alarm notifies us an alarm that notifies us of abnormalities goes off and reverberates throughout the lab. Mitsuru-san quickly uses a nearby control panel to contact the staff within the facility.
What's going on?
The surveillance system detected a rise in shadow readings. It's currently stabilizing around a level 3 alert, located in that town of Inaba.
What?
Looks like he's shown up already. That saves us the trouble of having to puzzle this out.
Says Akihiko, who'd rather just punch things instead of think about them.
Yu-san and his friends are in danger. Mitsuru-san, please give the order to dispatch us.
All right, we'll leave at once. Yamagishi, leave Labrys to Kikuno and accompany us.
I understand. Well then, I leave
Alright,
the rest to
split.
you, Kikuno-san.
Understood. Lady Mitsuru, everyone, please be careful.
One of Mitsuru-san's personal domestic assistants, or should I say, maid, Kikuno-san answered. Kikuno-san and Mitsuru-san have a stronger bond than any ordinary servant and master. He is another of the Shadow Operatives. Her words catch my attention for some reason. Please be careful. A very trivial expression of concern for our safety. Brushing it off as common courtesy would be simple, but I feel that she may be sensing something unusual regarding the situation that awaits us there. What could be causing this unease? Does Mitsuru-san know?
Oh, hold on, I guess.
As I'm trying to decide whether or not to look deeper into Mitsuru-san's state of mind, Fuka-san gets up from her operator's seat and beckons me over.
What is it? If we can put Labrys aside for a moment, are you going to be alright without having any maintenance done on you, I guess? What do you mean? I read the documents on your new equipment. At first I assumed it was referring to that large gun, but it's actually, that. True. There have been no tests confirming that it is capable of being used in an actual combat situation.
I assume the large gun is the Palladian. That giant FU laser that she fights, that she uses in her instant kill move.
But we face a powerful foe this time. Is it even possible? If even one thing were to go wrong.
Fuka-san's face clouds as she looked at me. I can't be confident that I'll be alright, and I'm unable to tell her a pleasant lie to calm her down. In any case, I only pray that a situation that requires me to use my new equipment never arises. Both of us are tense as we prepare to depart.
Milady, a change of clothes has been laid out in your car.
I see. Thank you.
I've also prepared Akihiko-san's favorite protein drink, and Fuka-san has been preparing a playlist suitable for a road trip in her room.
Wow! This maid is on point. Holy moly. Knows exactly what each one of these people would love.
Huh?
That will be all, Kikuno.
Very well. Pardon me.
As expected from Kikuno-san, she is amazingly considerate, as a personal assistant should be. But she can be too thoughtful at times. We learned this for ourselves when she came to accept us as people who are precious to Mitsuru-san.
Let's start this over, shall we? Shadow Operatives, let's mobilize.
Didn't get anything for Aigis? Man, she's still really cool to Aigis. What the hell, man? Probably hasn't decided what would be best to prepare for Aigis. Or Aigis is usually very prepared on her own and doesn't need that kind of backup. So she's like, I trust you enough. Thanks to Kikuno-san, the tension in the air subsides a bit, but we cannot allow our attention to wander just now. Upon completing our preparations for departure, we immediately make our way to Inaba. So we're gonna find out how they got captured, essentially.
Why are we taking this car again, Mitsuru?
Akihiko-san grumbles from the backseat of the Shadow Operatives' personal limousine. I'm not sure how to put this, but I find that his feelings are justified.
Don't question it, Akihiko. There was no time to prepare a vehicle with the same equipment. Speaking of appearances, are you gonna wear that again?
Sure. There's a chance that we'll have to fight after all. These clothes give me the flexibility I need.
Impressive, Akihiko-san. You never change. Still, to think that the culprit would make a move so soon. We've completely lost the initiative.
Indeed. We need to begin taking measures right now. I only hope no danger comes to Narukami and his friends.
Mitsuru-san seems deeply agitated. During the car ride, he seemed distracted. At times, he would flip through the thick file in her lap, only to suddenly give an order to a subordinate, and at other times, she would stare intently at her watch as if lost in thought. Her usual regal composure is gone.
Mitsuru-san, why don't we just ask them to cooperate with us?
I agree. They seem pretty strong.
No, they're still young. If I asked for their assistance, it would waste time better spent at school. Worse yet, it would put them in danger.
That is the woman who was part of a team that did this stuff regularly while they were in school. Come on, Mitsuru. Get your act together.
I don't want anyone else to have to go through that anymore.
Ah, okay, that's a fair
I
assessment.
understand how you feel, but they don't seem like the kind who'd listen. You know, we were the same way back then.
Mitsuru-san falls silent. It's likely not a mistake to think that the sudden spike in shadow activity this time is related to the events of a few days ago. It has become apparent to everyone that another dangerous battle is about to begin.
We have new information. Kikuno sent me a message. I tasked Kikuno with reviewing Ergo Research's quarantine server, but it seems new evidence has come to light regarding Ikutsuki, who we discussed in our earlier conversation. According to the report, it seems Ikutski was performing an experiment on his own in the lab directly after the explosion. It's unknown if this is related to our current mission, but there was a record of a plume of dust being used in the experiment.
No.
A plume of dusk.
A plume of dust. An object that blurs the line between matter and information. It is fitted to into anti-shadow weapons like myself. It forms the core of our personality module and is what allows us to control personas, even though we are machines.
So, what are the
Basically, it's your
details of
soul.
this experiment? Nothing good, I bet.
Ikutski was...
The limousine's engine suddenly roars, drowning out further conversation. It seems the road we are taking has begun to climb a steep hillside. As the car takes a winding road up the slope, I can look down through the window and see lush trees along the mountainside. For a moment, I thought I sensed a shadow reading. Could that have been just my imagination?
Yamagishi, tell me our current location.
One moment. I'm looking it up now. We're currently in Inaba Pass. We're almost at the target coordinates. What is this?
This is not midnight. Why is the P1 climax showing up?
Was that?
What's wrong? An ambush?
What's happening? Driver, what's going on? Answer me! This...
It's just like during the hijacking.
Ibis!
On it!
Whoa!
A barrier!
Are we trapped?
Hey, show. Seriously? You really think that's gonna stop them? That's such a joke. Okay, who are we jumping onto? Ah. Oh. Huh. I was actually expecting Junpei. Maybe Junpei shows up here? Or over there, who knows? Either way, let's start with Ken. Only because I'm not a big fan of Ken, so. He's a kid, to be fair. So his bad decision is not his choice. Yep, he is in Gekko-kun High with this look. And apparently he's popular.
Man, you were amazing.
Thanks for cheering for me.
You're a real hit with the ladies.
Not like he
I'm
cares.
gonna get going for today.
Okay, you better be this good next time, too.
Leave it to me.
Oh, he actually... Dorm, I guess this got converted to a regular dorm now.
I'm home, Kadomaru.
Who else lives here? Because there's no way that they let Ken live there on his own. There's some time before dinner, until dinner, so I decide to leave the dorm again with Koromaru. This is Gekko-kan dormitory this Gekko-kan dormitory is where we live. It was briefly closed after Mitsuru-san and the others graduated. All the equipment from a few years ago was removed, of course, but with the increase of students at Gekko-kan, they decided to reopen the dorm. I applied for a room as soon as I'd heard. The reason I did was because of Koromaru. He had been in Aiga-san's care, but at this dorm, he'd be allowed to live with me. Also, to be honest, I felt that living here let me stay close to my companions who are fighting, even now. Back then, everyone took turns walking Koromaru. That's my job. Of course, they have to play freaking this song. Ugh. The path to the nearby Naganaki Shrine is Koromaru's usual route. Koromaru's quite old for a dog, but as he trots along at his usual pace, along our usual path, it makes me think for a moment that all the fighting back then was a dream. Only when I'm watching Koromaru walk like this can I forget everything and feel a little at ease. PTSD, kind of. You pass through the gateway at the entrance and step into the shrine grounds. Since it's nearly sundown, there's nobody but us here in the serene atmosphere. Sit down on the bench inside of myself. Koromaru notices, though, and immediately rushes over to nuzzle my leg.
It's nothing, Koromaru.
Even while I'm saying it, I'm sure Koromaru could see through my words. I can't understand him in the same way Igus can, but even I can tell what Koromaru is thinking. I pet Koromaru as he looks up at me with a worried whine, and I put my hand in my pocket to pull out the Shadow Operative badge that Mitsuru-san had given me. Koromaru wears the same badge on his collar.
Even if she gave me this, I know it's just for show. I bet everyone else is working hard right now.
Wow, it's almost like the voice actress is really trying to get a lower voice. Probably heard the complaints from, considering that this is supposed to be DLC, right? Probably heard the complaints from her first performance that matched her previous performance, and then she realized and toned it down. Either that or she's trying to be quiet, and it's ending up being deeper. This morning, I got a call from Sanada-san for the first time in a long while. It seems like he'd just come back to Japan from a year-long training journey. Wandering the world? I knew he was the kind of person who would put himself through anything in order to get stronger, but this is the sort of thing that you only hear about in stories. Sanada-san told me that he had gone to Mitsuru-san directly after his return to this country, but had been immediately dispatched to an emergency. He's currently busy with that, so he just said that he would tell me more about his trip some other time. I know that being a Shadow Operative must be tough, but he seems so excited about when talking about them. So it's like, I get these pent-up feelings inside.
I'm a member too, you know.
Member, yes, but only as part of a secondary unit that only gets called out in extreme situations. Being a part of a special suppression unit has a cool ring to it that I like. But the official Shadow Operatives are each given a unique number. For example, Igus-san is member number 5. We don't have that. We're just auxiliary members. I haven't been called to any action yet, and I doubt I ever will be until after I graduate high school. After all, I did promise Mitsuru-san that I would try to live out my childhood as much as I could.
I'm just for show too.
Following that promise, I try as much as I could. I've been acting like a child on the surface. An average middle school student studying... He's in Gekkokan High, though. He can't be in middle school. Is this a mistranslation? Hold on, I'm gonna look this up now. This has been bothering me. He's going to Gekkokan High. He's going to Gekkokan High, but... Oh, I forgot his... We'll put Amamiya, but that's not it. Hold on. Amada. That's why I was kind of getting thrown off. What's up, girl? And Amada. Oh, he's 13. Which means that more than likely, if he's going to Gekkokan... If he's going to Gekkokan like it seems like he is, and he's 13, then he's probably a first year. I just forgot what the signifier for the years in Gekkokan High were. It's clear on both Shujin and Yasogami because they have the numbers on their collars. Or in the case of Shujin, it's like somewhere here, if I remember correctly, like on the tighter shirt on the inside. But like I said, he's 13 but going to Gekkokan, and he's actually first year. He's in high school. So, oops, that was a mistake. An average high school student studying helping out with club activities, and even taking part in the student council. But I haven't officially joined any clubs, and the reason why is because I asked Mr. Sun to call me for help if she ever needed me. I know that no organization under the police would be able to command an underage person, let alone someone in high school. Like, even if it was middle school here in America, it's high school there. So you have to say high school, come on. I know that no organization... I'm only a shadow operative for show. I'm only a child for show. If this continues, I won't know when I'll ever be able to go back to who I really am.
Making my life my own is actually pretty hard. Sometimes I lose sight of what I'm supposed to be doing.
Think back on the words left by the person who saved my life. I thought I'd come to understand them at one point, but as time passed, other emotions began to rear their head.
It's completely dark now. We should head back home, Koromaru.
I wonder if I'll be left behind like this. Would things actually be better if I just forgot everything? But I could just live with myself if I had the power to fight, but I did nothing with it. I've been thinking a lot about it, and standing up from... I stand up from the bench and look across the dark, quiet temple grounds. I won't reach an answer just by thinking about it. I know that. That moment. Koromaru suddenly barks at me. It had been a while since I heard him bark like this. He's been getting more and more mellow these days. What's that sound? Seriously, Ken? Some rhythmic noises approaching from up above. The wind becomes stronger and the trees around the temple begin to rustle. A flippin' helicopter! How do you not know? I look up in the sky and a bright light turns on high above. As my eyes adjust, I see the previously hidden black helicopter, otherwise pitch black against the sky. It's something like out of a movie. I think they probably didn't do the actual pitch black sky, because then you wouldn't really see the helicopter. It's very bad for the art. Is that the military? No, it can't be right. As if to answer my doubts, a searchlight streamed down, pinning shadows to the ground. Something's happened. That's my first thought. I don't know why, but for some reason, I sense elation rising up through my body.
Let's go, Koromaru.
Come on, shark. I have kernel stuck really deep in my teeth and it hurt like a mother. So, yeah. Anyway, I grip my Shadow Operative badge tightly and thrust it back into my pocket as I take a deep breath. I run towards the helicopter. Oh, it's up there. I figured as much. Pretty quick. On each one of these so far. Now, relatively speaking. Now we got Yukari! Yukari!
Here we go! Feathered chain! Phoenix Rangers!
Featherman victory! So, you come to fight me, Featherman!
Huh. Merlion, the evil forces have fallen! Stop here!
How dare you oppose me? Minionlings, get them!
Minionlings, okay.
No, no!
Merlion, prepare for justice!
Don't be so sure!
Huh? Usually...
Everyone, I've had enough of this! Ultimate Arrow!
Why? I believe this Featherman, the Pink Ranger, is the leader, which is a little weird. Or, not weird, but not usual for a Sentai. Usually it involves more teamwork than that.
And cut.
Perfect. What a take.
Thank you very much!
They made that look like it was all one take, which it definitely was not. It was definitely not one take. I don't care what they say. Either way.
Let's take a 10-minute break.
When the director calls this out, the tension in the area dies away. I make my way to the simple tent used as our break room and take a sip of my drink. My scenes for today are done.
I'm tired.
You're on a roll, Featherpink.
Huh? Do you think so?
The directors had nothing but good things to say, too. Looks like this will have a positive effect on your main job. Speaking of your next shoot.
My main job. My real job's supposed to be studying in college. I wipe the sweat from my brow as my manager excitedly tells me about my schedule for the schedule for my next gig. I'd always had an interest in fashion, so I started taking modeling jobs as a way to earn some pocket money. It's pretty tough since I had to do things like pose in the middle of winter with just a t-shirt, but thankfully I've been able to get a steady flow of commissions now. Trying to manage both classwork and my job as a model was already hard enough when my manager applied for an audition for a live-action show without my consent, claiming that I should broaden my work horizons. When I mentioned that I'd practiced archery in high school, it really got their attention. And it all made sense to me when I learned that Featherpink's weapon would be a bow and arrow, though. As a result, I ended up as a protector of Earth in a kids' superhero show starting this year. While my acting work makes use of different expressions and my modeling career makes me dress up in a lot of different clothing, it kind of makes me feel like I'm changing who I am, too. It's insanely busy, but it's fulfilling and fun. Yeah.
What's wrong? Something troubling you?
Oh, not really.
I checked my cell phone, but Mitsuru-senpai still hasn't sent me a response. I have tomorrow off, so I emailed her earlier asking if she'd like to spend some time with me and go shopping. She's been contacting me less and less often recently, and when she does, it's because of Shadows. I'm one of the Shadow Operatives, a group established by Mitsuru-senpai. I understand that she wants us all to be able to have normal lives, and she said she wouldn't hesitate to ask for my help if she ever needed it. But it seemed to me that she was taking everything on by herself. That attitude didn't satisfy me, so I forced her to add me to her team. However, unlike Igus and the other official members, I'm part of a special unit that only gathers in emergencies. Trusted with immediately subduing shadows by force. What did she call it? The auxiliary staff? Something like that, anyway. It's wonderful that there have been no situations that called for us to be dispatched, and even if something like that did arise, the official Shadow Operatives are all excellent. I don't need to worry about with the likes of Akihiko-senpai and Igus around, but...
Is it really that hard to just send back a reply? It's Golden Week, for God's sake.
What's this? Don't tell me you've got some boyfriend trouble.
And that's why there's a lot of art about them too, let's just say.
No, it's nothing like that.
We normally talk when we see each other, so I've never doubted my friendship with her. Still, when things remain unsettled, it's unsatisfying. Maybe I have to get on her case about taking everything on all by herself again. Huh? There's something loud going on outside.
What? Huh?
As the sound gets closer, the tent's walls and roof begin to undulate with an intense wind. When I rush outside, I see the crew are all looking up and causing a commotion. When I look up, there's a black helicopter descending towards the ground, dangling a rope ladder. The lady in the pilot seat sees me and gestures towards the ladder. Oh. At that moment, it all becomes clear. I only know one person who would do this.
I'm glad she came, but she's making too big of a scene.
I'm completely astounded by the utter absurdity of the situation, but before I know it, I'm already running towards the ladder. So... He thinks that Mitsuru is just sending a freaking helicopter? Interesting. Labrys's dreams and... Let's start with Junpei's dreams. Because he's the one I know the least about right now.
Now's the time you've all been waiting for.
I know Labrys at least a little bit.
Who the game's MVP will be. The man whose Grand Slam won it in the night, Junpei Iori. First off, I'd like to congratulate your team on winning the WBC.
Thank you.
World Baseball Classic.
What was going through your mind as you entered that batter's box for that last at-bat?
My only thought was how I would lead my team to victory.
Ah, so it's your great focus that led to this result. Still, that
He's talking very quietly.
All I can say is I got lucky with that hit.
Why did they say Junpei there instead of Iori?
I got so excited I almost forgot to give the play-by-play.
The ball went a lot farther than I thought it would. I'm very pleased with the result.
Man, he's talking nowhere near the way he is normally does. He sounds super freaking calm.
Anyone you'd like to dedicate this victory to?
Well,
There's his.
I'd like to dedicate that Grand Slam to my precious girl who's always supported me through thick and thin.
Always?
I know that I can be a burden on you. I'm not the greatest, but will you marry me?
And there's where the dream.
End of the line. Yaso Inaba.
Sorry, sir, but this is the end of the line.
Oh, I was dreaming.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Chidori is not. Yeah. Thanks, sir, so much. Thanks so much for waking me up right at the best part. I step off the train in an unfamiliar station in the countryside with a little resentment towards the station worker. Let's see here. Man, that's a tough name to make out. How am I supposed to pronounce that? Oh, it's written out beneath the kanji.
Oh, it's Yaso Ina, but wait, where is this? Huh. Let's see what the shuttle train schedule is.
I check the train schedule and I feel myself slipping into despair. Seriously? There aren't any more trains leaving this station? That was the final train of the night?
I've really done it now.
The great feeling that I'd only have a moment ago withers away at once. What the hell, man? Why did this happen? Let's see, I worked a full shift on my job today, and the kids had a game after that.
If you get a hit, you'll be a hero. Are you gonna try for a home run?
Why? You just said a hit would make you a hero. Does it have to be a home run? Anyway, it's the afternoon before a long holiday weekend. Normally I'd be busy with my part-time job and top-secret missions, but on days off, I transform into an excellent coach for a boys' baseball team. This is our first game in a while, so I really want to make sure these kids win somehow. The game's coming to an end, and we're one run away from tying up the score. I'm talking with Goro. There's a U in there. I think Goro is... without the... It's not the length thing, so I don't think this is a catchy. It'd be hilarious if it was, though. I'm talking with Goro, our cleanup hitter, who's getting too much of a swelled-head in his position to actually focus on the game. Bless you. Bless you. I said bless you. I know, right? Over his position to actually focus on the game. Even if he could get it in a clean hit, he'll never be able to do it like this.
Of course I am. You made me the cleanup hitter after all. I'm making this a home run, no matter what.
So definitely not a catchy at all. Would have been funny if it was.
Watch your mouth, kid, or you'll scare the ball away. Now listen up. Don't try to act cool. Just play like you normally would. The team's counting on you.
Goro stops boasting and turns toward the bench. The other kids are cheering Goro at the top of their lungs.
Goro, keep your eye on the ball. You can hit it. The pitcher's totally freaked out.
See, a hero doesn't just hit homers all the time. Even if you mess up, there's guys behind you waiting to help. Now loosen up and do your best.
Gotcha.
Goro's face loses the gruff facade that he had been wearing and he begins to focus. There we go, that's how it should be.
Thanks, Junpei.
Hey, you're supposed to call me Coach, a screwball. Make sure you stay loose.
I finish off by giving a bit of a hard smack on Goro's butt with my bat before sending him off to the batter's box. Sounded like a pretty clean hit. Goro keeps his eye on the ball and lands a direct hit, sending the ball flying out past the outfielders. All right, we're tied. Goro is standing on second base with a huge grin, waving to us. He's a pretty good coach. But in the end, but he ended up losing in the end. And all the kids cried. I cried too, of course. Oh well, it happens. At least the kids have grown closer as a team, so that's good enough for me.
That was so close, guys. You almost won. All right, let's start practicing again tomorrow. Now, I want you all to remember this at least. If you all work together, you'll never be beat. Okay, we're done for today.
After the game, I said some final words as their coach. You all work together, you'll never be beat. And that was that. Man, even I think that's an awesome speech. Aw, yeah. Thinking back on it now, I'm honestly proud I came up with it. I bet the kids are still carrying that moment around in their heads.
Yeah, I'm such an awesome coach. It's really worthwhile volunteering for a kids team even after working the night shift.
Because I'm still just underage, I'm not an official member of Mitsuru Senpai's Shadow Operatives. But I've been playing a very active part in some of their investigations. I get sent out from time to time to check on scenes where low-level shadow readings have been detected. Yeah, the missions are pretty plain, but I'm satisfied with them in my own way. Then again, when do I get sent out? When I do get sent out, most of the time it's nothing at all. But just like I told the kid, it's about putting out a consistent effort every day. That goes for anything. Not like I get these missions every day, so in the meantime, I spend a lot of time at my part-time jobs. Even though it's kids baseball, renting fields, paying for rides to and away games gets surprisingly expensive. I gave up on that dream, but I love teaching baseball to kids. It's really fun.
Man, it's like I'm finally starting to enjoy my youth after all this time. Crap, I'm starting to feel sleepy.
And that's how I got caught in Inaba Station. And that leads to where I am right now. Not only did I completely miss my stop, but I can't even get back home. I'm in a tight squeeze here.
How did I just fall asleep like that? I can't believe I slept through so many stops either. Seriously.
He was actually super lucky to be here. What's up?
What does?
Bungie, okay. I decided to leave the station for the time being. There's some basic vending machines outside and nothing else. That's kind of impressive. Crap, this is real bad. If something doesn't happen soon, it looks like I'm gonna end up sleeping outside.
What the heck am I gonna do now? I guess I better call somebody and hope.
I pull out my phone to call up anyone I can think of just so I can get a ride out of here. But surprise, it's not on. I pray the battery didn't die while I was on the train, and I hold the power button. And it turns on! No, the battery's in the red! I might not be able to make a single call at this point. Things never turn out well when they're this bad, but suddenly my ringtone echoes out in this completely empty place.
Oh. Hello?
Finally! Hey, Junpei, what were you doing? I've been calling you this whole time.
It's Yuki-tan. I wonder, Yukarin, I believe is the actual Japanese they put to it. I wonder how long has she been trying to call me? Maybe she just got dumped by her boyfriend and needs a shoulder to cry on or something? Wait, does she even have a boyfriend? She sounds really pissed for some reason, but meh. She's almost always like this after all. The most important thing right now is charging this phone.
Oh, hey, Yucatan. Can we not talk about that now? My battery's about to die. Hey, what's that noise in the background? It's super loud.
Your phone's about to die? What's wrong with you? Mitsuru Senpai, Akihiko, Fuka, and Ibis have gone missing. We're in a helicopter to find them.
They're missing? A helicopter?
We've looked in tons of places for them, but we can't find them. Anyway, where are you right now, Junpei?
Hold on a second, this doesn't make any sense at all. Mitsuru Senpai and the others went missing, and now Yukatan's in a helicopter trying to find them? This is too much information all at once. I turn around to check the name of the station again.
Somewhere called Yasoina something? I fell asleep on the train and missed my stop, and now I'm stuck out in the boonies.
You're at Yaso Inaba Station? Why?
Huh? Why is she so surprised? I don't even know why I'm here. Okay, fine. Because I slept through my stop.
Yucatan, the battery's going.
Fine, just wait there. We'll come get you. I'm with Kenkun and Koro-chan, and we've got Labrys here too. She's Aigis' sister.
What was that? Who? Well, whatever. I'll just find a convenience store and...
It's not beeping like that if it died, guys. You might need to rephrase that. The phone died. I consider what I should do now. Then again, I'm worried about Mitsuru-senpai too. I'll just have to buy a cheap charger at a gas station or something and call Yucatan back. It's maybe out in the boonies, but there's gotta be a convenience store open around here. Start walking along the road in search of an open store. After walking for some time, I finally see a familiar lighted sign in the distance.
Nice, just what I wanted. I'm starving too, so maybe I should get myself something to eat.
Finally, with some relief over finding a store, my step grows a little lighter. That's when the lights ahead suddenly go out. Ah, but it's not because of...
Don't tell me they're closed. What kind of convenience store isn't open 24/7 these days?
No, that's not right. It's not the convenience store. All the street lights and the lights in the houses have gone out as well. And somehow, the people that I saw inside the store have all vanished too. Even more strange, it didn't get pitch black out. Everything's illuminated in a hazy red light. Is this fog?
What the hell?
There's something familiar about the sight of this town suddenly falling silent. Not quite right to call it nostalgic, but it just like that crazy thing that should have stopped 3 years ago. The dark hour. Talk about deja vu. The first time I experienced the dark hour was back then. I was in a convenience store. Akihiko-senpai rescued me that time.
Oh, there you are, Junpei.
A voice behind me makes me turn around and I see a girl dressed in all pink. Is that Yucatan? What's gotten into her? She's dressed rather odd, but there's no mistaking her voice. Yucatan stops a short distance away from me and glares. He looks pissed. Is it because I left the station after she told me to wait there? Even then, she looks way too angry.
Hey, Yucatan! I'm making an effort at least, so... But hey, Mitsuru-senpai's gone missing? What's going on?
Damn, she's really pissed. Eddie Junpei, okay. Pitching to a real hard case, you need to throw outside the strike zone, just to test the water. Throw them off their game and see how they react, right? Yeah.
So, you look great, huh? Is that your, feather pink outfit? Are you doing an autograph tour out here? Come meet the Feathermen.
I tried throwing my best curveball, but she still looks just as mad. Oh crap.
You never shut up, do you? You're nothing but a minor character. A mook, a minion, a loser. Just die and let the world have your body back?
I know it's been a long time since I played P3. I feel like over 4 years. Maybe even 5 or 6. But that seems a little rough even for Yukari.
Hey, what? Aren't you being crueler than usual?
It's time for your punishment! Bring on the ring!
There we go. Okay, never mind. Definitely a fake. We're good. This makes sense. Yucatan suddenly raises one hand as she delivers that cheesy line. With that, 4 pillars fall from the sky and stab into the ground all around us, forming a fighting ring. I don't know what's going on, but this suddenly feels really dangerous. I place my bag on the ground and pull out my favorite bat and take a cautious stance.
You're a quick learner for an idiot. No wonder you're a member of the Shadow Operatives.
I look around in search of the source of that voice when I see a television dangling from a telephone pole with a... What is that? A round body, a doopy hat, a cape, and a cane. Is this some sort of local station cartoon mascot that I don't know about? He's saying something about a General Teddy? What? That's his name? And why would a TV be hanging from a pole like that?
Who the hell are you? I don't know what's going on, so you better explain yourself. If this is some prank show, it's not funny.
You really are a yappy idiot. Now let's begin Operation World Destruction. I mean, the one-on-one P1 Climax.
P1 Climax?
I'm not in the mood to drag this out, so I'll just give a short rundown. The rules are simple. Win and you get to move on. Lose and you're stuck here.
Huh? You mean I have to fight Yucatan?
Oh, you really are a pain in the ass. If you're not gonna do this, then hurry up and die. Here we go. Persona!
A gust of wind blows, and I recognize Yucatan's persona before me. Before me? In front of me. Come on. Please give them their voice. Whoa, 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 whoa. Not only are we fighting, but we're doing it with our personas? This doesn't make any sense. I don't even have my evoker with me. But when I look back at Yucatan, she's already got her bow drawn and pointed at me. Oh man, she's completely ready for this.
Whoa, hold on, Featherpink. We can talk this out. I mean, you shouldn't be pointing that at people. Ah!
My desperate plea is in vain, and Yucatan shoots an arrow at me with no hesitation. I managed to dodge away just in time. Nice aim! I mean, wait.
Stop moving around, Junpei. Just give up now and let me kill you.
What the hell did I do to deserve this? It looks like I'm just gonna have to run. While avoiding the arrows raining down on me, I start a mad dash towards the train station.
Ow! What the heck?
That's what I said! Only the victor can leave the area. Now hurry up and get this fight started!
We reach out to where I reach out to where I hit something, and sure enough, there's an invisible wall there. I guess I can't go beyond those red pillars. Does this mean I'm seriously in trouble here?
I hope you're prepared. Face me, evildoer. You're no match for Featherpink. Strike out batter.
Strike out bad? What the hell does that even mean? Did I get promoted from generic bad guy to a villain out of the blue? Well, I guess I'll just have to fight a bit and pray that it's enough to knock Yucatan back to her senses.
Desperate times call for desperate measures. How dare you, Featherman? I, Lord Junpei, will strike you down!
Oop, here we go. I set something up for this. Let's go! See, quick adjustment. Instead of having to do the flash every single time. I'm good.
Final.
Except I'm fighting as Junpei. This is gonna be interesting. I runs. Junpei's an interesting character to play with, I'll tell you that much. Fun times.
The Mook wins! Keep that up and keep winning!
Who are you calling a mook? Wait, Yucatan!
And she melts into nothing. Which is gross and icky. I imagine. The red pillars shatter and Yucatan suddenly starts melting away like a black piece of candy. Just then, what looks like golden grains of sand fly into the air and flow across the sky. That costume guy on the monitors disappeared. Does that mean the invisible walls I ran into are gone now, too? Maybe?
What was that just now? It wasn't a dream, right? I slept a ton on the train after all.
I pinch myself and look around. Oh, lights are still out, and the city is... The lights are still out in the city, and there's no one around. Could this really be the dark hour? That way, the way that Yucatan disappeared seems familiar, too.
Was that a shadow?
Then, was that a fake Yucatan? The convenience store's lights went out right around midnight, I think. Past midnight. Reminds me of the dark hour that was our battlefield 3 years ago.
Did the dark hour come back?
At the stroke of midnight, the world seemingly stops in time. The world becomes a place where only persona-using people like us can move around. During that time, people disappear and shadows show up instead. Normal people don't even notice that this time exists. At the very least, the situation sure looks a lot like the dark hour.
But wait a sec. How'd I use my persona without an evoker?
But those potential those with potential like us are able to summon personas by resolving ourselves to death. But in order to acquire the trigger for such a resolve, we usually use these things called evokers that are shaped like guns. But during that fight, I was able to summon my persona Trismegistus just by thinking about it in my head. This feels like it's more dangerous than the Dark Hour. If that's the case, then could the disappearance of Mitsuru Senpai and the rest be related to this phenomenon?
Is that General Teddy guy behind this? We'd better step barefully.
Leave the puns to Teddy. That costume dude told me to keep winning, but I don't know anything about this town. Well, just standing around here isn't going to do me any good, so I guess I should head back to the station for now. That's where the real Yucatan told me to wait.
Let's see here. Which way was it?
Start walking back the way I came, but something's obviously wrong. I mean, I don't think it took me this long to get from the station to the store. And it might be just because of the fog, but the street poles and street look distorted. A maze that changes every time you look at it. That in itself reminds me of the past. What, was that a girl who needs help? Somebody might be getting attacked by something similar to that monstrous Yucatan. I mean, that monster that looked like Yucatan. Okay, that's a funny one. If that really was a shadow, then there's no way I can ignore this. I'm the Shadow Operatives' lethal weapon, after all. I look towards where I heard the sound coming from, and I see a giant shopping center, like one you find in the suburbs. The Chez Junez.
Oh, hey, I know that store. Every day's great.
Even Junpei knows it. That's hilarious. I don't remember that place from a moment ago, but I'm positive that I heard that girl's scream come from there. She needs me to rescue her. Reese?
Hang on, I'm coming! Shadow Operative Junpei Iori is on the scene!
I force open the stuck automatic door with my hands and almost trip over a number of things while I run into the building. Oh, you're gonna set that up and leave us cliffhanger? I hate you right now. Game, don't do that to me. Okay, so next up is Miss Labris's dream. Oh, I get to do a Brooklyn accent. Let's.
Where am I?
Blue skies and an azure ocean spread out before my eyes. A gentle breeze brushes my cheek. You gotta go a little higher pitch. Hold on. Okay. Blue skies and high oceans spread out before my eyes. A gentle breeze brushes my cheek as I stand on finally glistening beach. I'm not very good at a Brooklyn accent now, am I? Oh my god, but I'll give it a good shot. That's what I keep doing these non-voice acting scenes for. Anyway, sun shining from high above. The sound of waves is calming.
What am I doing here? Wasn't I going through maintenance at Mitsuru-san's place?
Also, you look very human, by the way. Retrace my memories with a hint of bewilderment. Because I had been severely damaged in the recent battles, I was to undergo repairs at the laboratory at the Shadow Operatives facility. I was placed in a protective case, and Fuka-san explained that what was going to happen while Aiga stood nearby.
Oh, this must be a dream then.
I vaguely remember this sensation. It's similar to something I've experienced a number of times before. Fuka-san said that she would shut down my consciousness during maintenance, thus I shouldn't be able to dream. Is this a random phenomenon occurring during my reboot process?
I'm dressed like this again.
I'm wearing the uniform of Yasugami High. My arms are human arms. Since what's in one's heart can be reflected in dreams, this must be one of my desires. Still, I know it's nothing but an illusion. I understand. I won't deny it any longer. This isn't what really an that this isn't really an appearance that I wanted to recall so soon after what happened yesterday. It seems the me deep within my heart won't let it be that way. Still, as I gaze at this scenery, I eventually stop caring. Take a step towards the pier that juts out over the beach and then turn my attention to my internal GPS.
Guess there's no use doing something like that in a dream.
Don't need my GPS to know what this place is. Where a certain wish in my heart sometime is where I hid a certain wish in my heart some time long ago.
It's so beautiful. If this really is a dream, maybe I can keep going.
Just while I think that, the under my feet crumbles and disappears without a sound. Just like that, the azure waters swallow me. The sun's light becomes dim, but I feel no anxiety. A mysterious sensation envelops me, as if everyone's near me and I'm connected with everyone. Eventually, when the feeling of floating becomes stronger and I lose all sense of up and down, the sea changes into a field of countless lights in the darkness.
Now, where could this be?
It seems I have an odd guest. Oh?
Hello?
You're that misrepresent. No. Press stand? Ah, yes, Miss President. We met the other day.
Hi, Elizabeth. I turn towards the voice and I see a familiar woman in blue dress. Elizabeth. She gave me a word of caution during yesterday's battle when I had been turning my eyes away from my true self. This is an unexpected reunion with the person who appeared before me like a storm and left with the same amount of force.
Oh, hi. Thanks a bunch for back then. I didn't get to thank you properly at the time.
You faced yourself and overcame the ordeal through your strength alone. And the feelings of those at the scene certainly helped as well. Still, my assistance was merely the cake under the ice.
Icing on the cake, but, you know, it's Elizabeth. We'll let it slide.
Under the ice? I don't know what that means, but this place is beautiful. Where am I?
This is a world within people's hearts. Since you are here, it's most likely that you are at rest in the real world. Now that you have gained a heart of your own and are nurturing it, I wouldn't be surprised if you were to wander here at times.
That all sounds pretty complicated. What are you doing here, Elizabeth?
To put it as Frank would, it is a secret. But if there was something I could say about it, I am yearning for an unseen power.
Huh? You want power too? Even though you're insanely strong already?
Oh, all this talk of power has reminded me of something. It seems you have obtained a new power through that battle earlier. I do not mean to be rude, but my adorable personality cannot restrain my infinite curiosity for such things. Would you show it to me?
Huh? Wait. Hey, hold on now. Are you saying you want to fight me right this minute?
My, how could I have forgotten? A boisterous brawl in this place would certainly not be elegant.
I'm not talking about where we are.
Worry not. I will prepare a worthy stage at once.
Wait, you'll what? Huh?
Flips open the book with a fluid motion. Actually does. A blue circle drops itself into the air and the scenery around us changes.
This place.
The tranquil ocean-like area changes into a familiar place. The kids are playing. Beyond the glass of this red-stained room hang the corpse of my sisters I had destroyed with my own hands. I feel a lump in my throat as the memories come back to me. I look down and see my body has returned to its cold white metallic one. This is my true form.
Oh, are you a bit shaken? My apologies, but it seems we're being pressed for time.
Before I can sort out my emotions, the aura I feel from Elizabeth begins to intensify. She's coming.
Without further ado, here I come. Your fate is in the cards.
Oh. Time for a fight. So let's fight.
Final.
Here, freeze. Impressive. I see. Remarkable. Bloody hat.
Done and done. That was quick. Like, as it looks like it wouldn't contain everything.
Well done. I have indeed witnessed the power you have acquired.
While I was preoccupied with fighting Elizabeth, I remembered something. This is the place where I faced myself and gained something precious and irreplaceable. Yukun, Mitsuru-san, and all the others. Imagining their faces causes a mysterious strength to well up from within me.
Have I gotten stronger?
Elizabeth smiles. She calmly returns to the conversation we had been having.
Whether you can accomplish your wish and your heartfelt promise is up to you. If you can't do it, no one else will be able to do it for you. But from a different perspective, that means that anything is possible depending on you. Don't you think it could be perceived that way?
If I do it...
That is correct. Though, it would be most important to prioritize overcoming the ordeal that is coming your way.
Huh? What ordeal? Isn't this just a dream?
The ordeal that has made itself known quite close by. I bid you good luck.
Wait, hold on! What's this ordeal you're talking about? What do you mean?
The announcement room begins to fade into white and disappear into the distance. I hear a siren-like sound. As if in sync with the siren, Elizabeth began to grow hazy as well.
Wait! You have to tell me more!
Wee, wee. My own voice is lost in the warning sound and it crashes over me like waves. Just need to talk to her. Just a little more. Just a little more. The moment after everything goes white, the laboratory appears in my vision. Near piercing wail, wailing sounds fills the air. This is the real world.
Good, you're finally up and running. Seriously, I am terrible with machines.
I look towards this voice and see an unfamiliar man in a black pinstripe suit. The man looks frustrated as he fumbles with my case, disconnecting the wires coming from the terminals to my body.
So how about it? Can you move?
Who are you?
I'm Kurosawa, a police detective.
Oh, Kurosawa! I remember him. Kurosawa. I have no memory of this man, but for some reason I recognize his name. This must be information that was inserted into my knowledge database. Beginning personnel scan, matching his iris and voice print. Identified. Detective Kurosawa.
Oh, are you with Mitsuru-san and them?
Something like that.
As far as I can find in the database, he seems to be a person who can be trusted. He has a long history of private and public interaction with Mitsuru-san and the other Shadow Operatives.
I'll make this quick. There's an emergency. The car that the lady, that Mitsuru Kurijo was in, has gone missing.
Mitsuru-san? What do you mean?
An emergency? But she's missing? Only after hearing this do I pause to re-examine my surroundings. That siren must be in response to those ongoing events. I'm unable to get a grasp on the situation and only become more confused.
We'll talk later. We need to get to the roof.
As he speaks, Detective Kurosawa tosses me a small bundle. I open it to find the Yasogami high uniform I'd been wearing in my dream. Does he want me to wear this? But I'm still perplexed. I'm put on the uniform Detective Kurosawa gave me and I follow him as he runs to the stairway. I see that his gun is drawn. As we bound up the stairs, I desperately ask him the questions boiling in my mind.
Kurosawa-san, are Mitsuru-san and the others okay? Who took them?
Go quietly. We've got to hurry here. We were being pursued, too.
I'm taken aback for a moment. Shadow Operatives may be part of the National Police Agency, but their existence has been kept hidden from the civilian population. This lab's very existence should be hidden from ordinary people. Yet, it's been attacked?
Enemies? Hey, I could...
Don't. The ones coming after us are human. On top of that, they're from public safety.
This only confuses me even more. What's going on here? The public safety group are at the very top of the National Police Agency Security Bureau. They should be on our side. Why are they coming after us? I bite my lip in fear. I thought I had finally met people who understood me and that I finally had a place where I belong. And yet now I've awakened, I'm being pursued by armed people once more. People who are supposed to be on our side at that. Painful memories of Yakushima return to my mind. I shake my head, trying to clear these thoughts, but it's not that easy. At that moment, Detective Kurosawa speaks up as if he can see through my emotions.
I know it has to be tough, but bear with it. That's how you live, by fighting.
His words snap me out of my reverie. That's right. The world isn't always filled with things like this. There are people who understand me and accept me. And they're staying right by my side. Had I not made my own decision to protect these people?
Thanks, Kurosawa-san. Say, wanna take a shortcut to the roof?
With that, I pick Kurosawa-san and run ahead. I'm gonna do everything I can.
Hey, what are you...
I jump and ignite the boosters on my back and kick off the wall. It's a bit rough. It's a bit of a rough move, but I determined that it is in our best interest to proceed as quickly as possible in this situation.
Here we go!
Whoa!
We shoot up the staircase next to the landing, where I kick the wall again and send us flying up the staircase in the opposite direction. I repeat this a number of times, rocketing us up the extremely long staircase and allowing us to reach the door on the rooftop in less than a minute.
You've got some nerve.
Sorry, but...
It's fine. Looks like I can trust you to get things done.
Detective Kurosawa seems pale, but he still stands up, and I see the strength of will in his eyes as he speaks to me.
Well, from here on, this is a...
He opens up the door slightly. Chilly air from the outside comes rushing through the gap.
Putting their lives in your hands.
Kurosawa-san opens the door fully, and the wind whips at us.
Go on.
Go now!
Hey, Knuckle!
Gotcha! Okay! Kikuru-san, let's go!
That sounds like Kikuru-san instead of Kikuno.
Looks like we managed to get away.
We got out in time. It's nice to meet you, Labris. I'm Yukari Takiba.
Oh, yes. I'm Kanemata. Wow, so it's true that you're like Aigus-san. Oh, and this is Koromaru. Huh? A dog? He's not just a pet. Koromaru might not look like it, but he can fight as well.
Beginning personal scans. Everyone on this helicopter seems to be a member of the Shadow Operatives. According to the new data I was given during my repairs, they're all Mitsuru-san's friends since high school. These people are our comrades who have fought alongside Mitsuru-san and each other.
Takeba-san? You're dressed in a kinda interesting way.
Huh? Oh, this? Yeah, I got picked up suddenly from my job and I didn't have any time to change. I bet I'm never gonna hear the end of this. Also, you can just call me Yukari. I hope we get along, Labris.
But to think that organization would come after us now at such an important time. If Kurosawa-san hadn't gotten that tip, we'd be doomed.
Hey, right. What's going on with those guys? Who are they again? Public safety?
Oh, that's right. You don't know.
Ken-kun politely explains the situation to me. Some people in the public safety department don't think well of the Shadow Operatives. And when Mitsuru-san and the others went missing, public safety took advantage of this confusion and attempted to take control of the Shadow Operatives' quarters. They had been trying to remove Mitsuru-san from her position and showed up at the lab in an attempt to confiscate me for evidence. To move this quickly after she disappeared, though, Public safety must have some way of knowing what's going on within the Shadow Operatives.
They say Mitsuru-san set everything up. She would never. I can't understand it either. All this about honor and adult circumstances is foolish.
Yeah, but there are some people in public safety who don't agree with that. Or else Kurosawa-san wouldn't have gotten that anonymous tip.
Oh, that reminds me. I wonder if Kurosawa-san's okay.
Koromaru says that he's all right.
Huh? Can you understand dogs too, Yukari-san?
Well, no, but I've known Koromaru for a while, and that just seems like what he's saying. I'm sure Kurosawa-san will be just fine.
That's weird. Koromaru-san's white fur reminds me of something. Snowy. My friend I met on that southern island. I can tell from Yukari-san's words that all the other people here in this helicopter know each other very well.
So where are we going now anyway? We're gonna go look for Mitsuru-san and them, right?
Right. It looks like there was an increased shadow reading someplace called Inaba, and they were headed there. We'll go that way for now.
Inaba.
That's right. This could be a continuation of the events from yesterday. An ordeal. Elizabeth's words from my dream echo in my mind.
Don't look so gloomy. I'm sure Mitsuru-senpai's fine. She's got Akihiko-senpai, Fuka, and even Aigus with her after all. Oh, right. You're Aigus' sister, aren't you?
By technicality, sure.
Yeah, that's right. I was made just before her, though.
You seem so stiff. You don't need to be so polite with us.
I heard that you were an earlier model than Aigus-san, but you don't seem less advanced at all. You seem perfectly normal. Do you fight with that axe you're carrying? Could I touch it?
Ken's acting like a kid. I mean, duh, but, you know. Let me just check something here. There was a live action, apparently? Interesting. Anyway, let me see here. Wow, she's short. She's 5'3". Interesting. I just want to see some information about Labris here. She is what? Yeah, so she's 5th generation. So like right before, she's the 5th generation. I guess is the 7th generation. The 6th generation is missing here. Just saying. Just saying. Okay. That acceptance makes me happy. Oromaru-san is gazing intently at me too.
Yukari-san, have you been able to make contact with Iori-san?
A voice from the cockpit interrupts us. Kuno-san, Mitsuru-san's maid is in the pilot seat. She seems demure, but if she can pilot a helicopter like this, her skills seem to know no limit. But I've been told that Kikuno-san isn't a persona user. Isn't it dangerous for her to come with us in a situation like this?
I completely forgot. Hold on a sec.
Here's the phone call that we saw earlier. Yukari-san pulls out his cell phone. It seems they're trying to meet with Junpei Iori, another part-time Shadow Operative that also is a fellow comrade since high school. While Yukari-san is on the phone, I decide to ask Kuno-san about the doubts I have.
Saikawa-san, you're not a persona user, are you?
Please call me Kikuno. And no, I only have the potential towards the Dark Hour.
Oh, I didn't know you had that. Even the maids in the Kirijo family are amazing. So that means you can't fight shadows, right? Then ain't it dangerous for you to come along?
If I have the correct information, then the grotesque monsters known as shadows, our enemies, can only be defeated by people who can use personas. In other words, since Kikuno-san is originally is an ordinary human, she could never defeat a shadow, even if she was the most proficient warrior in the world. If she ever encountered a shadow on her own, Kikuno-san would face an immediate death. And yet she smiles warmly as she answers me.
There are more ways to deal with shadows than the direct method. We've never met in person, but I was involved in the operation to rescue you last time. We all do whatever we can to the best of our abilities to fulfill the roles we've been given. That is what it means to fight.
Wow, she's a true professional.
To be honest, I don't understand. True, Kikuno-san is helping us out by piloting the helicopter for us. But if that's all it took, then someone could easily program me with the ability to fly the helicopter, and there would be no need for Kikuno-san to be exposed to the danger of having to join this operation.
I'd see.
Can't think of any other words to say, and I look away from her. I end up meeting Ken-kun's eyes and feel a little awkward.
It's no use, he's not picking up. This is so important. Why now?
Hikari-san puts down her phone and turns to us again. Everyone's attention turns to getting up to speed on the current situation.
Oh well. We'll just have to begin our search on—
You know, Kikuno-san, I'm surprised you knew where we were without having to contact us at all.
I traced the GPS signals from your cell phones. We're still partners with the police force, so it's no problem to do that in an emergency. Then again, we've just seen how even that doesn't always help.
You mean about Junpei-san?
It's like he's going out of his way to inconvenience us.
Hikari-san sighs with an exasperated expression. As I reflect that just Junpei-san seems to be something of an odd person, Kikuno-san taps her armrest as if remembering something.
Oh dear, I almost forgot. Labra-san, please review these documents until we arrive at our destination.
That Kikuno-san hands me a folder.
Fuka-san asked me to tell you about this, but under the circumstances, would you please look through the material on your own?
As I flip through the documents in the thick file, I notice that certain names appear again and again. Tsuru, Akihiko. The names of everyone here. What's this?
It's a summary of the activities that took place 3 years ago.
3 years ago? You must mean— I see. Whoever's behind what's going on is definitely connected to those events.
3 years ago refers to the incident leading to Mitsuru-san and the rest meeting one another. I haven't had the chance to go over it in detail, but supposedly it's the case that became the impetus for Mitsuru-san to establish the Shadow Operatives. And the bonds that they have formed among each other. They were nurtured through these battles that they took part in back then. Such deep connections look radiant to my eyes. I decide that it's important that I learn more about what happened then. As important as learning more about who or whatever is behind the events going on now. I just wanted information on it. I could easily just if I wanted information on it, I could just easily transfer that data directly in my memory. But by actively reading it like this, I'll be able to understand what it means. The thoughtfulness of treating me the same as a person makes me happy. Kikuno-san glances at me one more and nods slightly as if in approval. Huh?
I think it looks good on you. A proper appearance is important when going out on a grand stage.
Does she mean the uniform I'm wearing? Oh, I get it. He must have been the one to who prepared the Yasogami uniform that Kurosawa-san gave me. A sudden compliment is a little embarrassing, but I can't help but smile. I mean, this uniform, to me, it's proof of my connection to Yukun and his friend.
Thanks.
Kikuno-san reacts with a small smile, and then produces some other items.
Yukari-san, Ken-san, I have acquired evokers and suitable weapons for you.
Wow, thank you! This would be the best for me.
Ken-kun takes a spear from Kikuno-san and sits back with a satisfied expression. The spear's longer than Ken-kun is tall, but he seems confident. Wouldn't such a weapon be too unwieldy for him to handle?
Kikuno-san, what is this?
Kikuno-san hands Yukari-san what appears to be a large pink bow that perfectly matches the shoes she's wearing. Upon seeing it, Yukari-san looks baffled.
It's the ultimate arrow!
acquired reference material from the publisher and had it made. Don't worry, it's more functional than the prop on your show.
I'm pretty sure that makes it the best bow ever created, but...
In actual combat, I thought that using a form factor you're comfortable with would be best.
Oh, I wasn't expecting you to have a logical explanation like that.
Was my arrangement unnecessary?
Yeah, it was unnecessary. No, it's fine.
I like it. Can I see it for a moment?
It's a kid, still a kid. Now I get why they wanted to put him in freaking middle school, because of the fact that he still acts like a kid entirely. I love it, it's cute. As Ken-kun reaches towards the bow with interest, I sense the helicopter tilt slightly to the side.
We're circling around. Please hang on to something.
The helicopter leans more sharply as Kikuno-san speaks. It seems that we need to take on more fuel before we reach Inaba. I reflect on Elizabeth's words as I look down on the view spreading out below us. Reminds me of that mysterious sea-like place. The air in the helicopter is heavy. Upon reaching the last known location of Mitsuru-san and the others, we immediately see that the guardrail is broken, as if a car had smashed through it. We looked down the cliff and discovered a black vehicle below, unmistakably Mitsuru-san's limousine. There was no skid marks on the road that indicated braking, and the car's body was seriously damaged. It appeared that it had been going at a very high rate of speed when they hit the barrier. Everyone paled in an instant, and we were all at a loss for words. But the driver was the only person in the vehicle. And though he was injured, there were no traces of blood from anyone other than him in the car. We wondered for a moment if the others had been able to leave the vehicle on their own, but if they had, they would have tried to contact them. It also seemed odd that they left an unconscious, injured man behind. Furthermore, there were no footprints around the vehicle at all. We did another search for their GPS signal, but there were no signs of their whereabouts. I just left us with one conclusion.
I hate to think about it, but does this mean that they've been captured?
Let us be optimistic and assume that they're still alive. If they were captured, then the enemy values their lives and will do no harm. We do have a chance.
I carried the injured driver from the bottom of the cliff back to the road. Kikuno-san requested a vehicle transport him to the hospital under the Kurijo family's care. Kikuno-san made this decision since we wouldn't have been able to explain what happened to a normal ambulance. It's also possible that the people from the Public Safety Works would take him away if they reported this to the authorities. If we reported this to the authorities. Kikuno-san asked the personnel who arrived with the transport to try and ask the driver what happened when he regained consciousness. That will likely be difficult, however. If this is similar to what happened last time, the driver would have no memories of the event, much like the people who captured me and transported me to Inaba last time. However, there's no guarantee that the same had happened to the limousine driver. Not long after, we were back in the helicopter, which takes us to where we are now. To be honest, everyone's at a loss about how bad the situation is. Ken-kun tries to change the topic in an attempt to divert us from our worries.
It's amazing that you know how to pilot a helicopter, Kikuno-san. I heard that it's hard to hover in the mountains. Did you train for that?
Only a couple of years ago, but I have taken part in an assault operation involving a helicopter.
Damn, this is like an assault maid. This is one of the best things ever.
You were in an assault with a helicopter? Where?
Just a high school dormitory.
What?
Huh? Oh yeah, I remember that.
When?
I decided to learn how to pilot in the event that if someone attempted the same move, I would be able to respond properly.
My understanding has been renewed. It seems that being a maid is a very serious and very difficult occupation. Barely shouldn't.
Damn. Well, I finally got in touch with Junpei. I don't know why, but he's already at Yaso Inaba Station, so I told him to stay there. In any case, we should head to Inaba too. We might find some kind of clue there.
Mitsuru-san's group has gone missing before sunset, and it's almost midnight now.
Whoever did this must be the same person who kidnapped Labra-san. It's unthinkable anyone else would be able to do that. The question is what he intends to accomplish by kidnapping them.
Ken couldn't flip through the reports on the events of the case up until now, seemingly lost in thought. What's to be gained by kidnapping Mitsuru-san at this time? At that moment, heavy static flickers across the video displays within the helicopter. Cutscene.
The strong win, while the weak disappear. Tonight, we will witness the hottest battles in all history. The goddess of victory is waiting to descend upon the ring. P1 fans, are you ready? Are you ready?
Time to let loose an all-out war!
The contestants in the previous P1 Grand Prix have returned for another tournament, right on the heels of the last one. These warriors will create another legend here at the world-shattering.
We've already seen this before, but I want to go grab something real quick while this is playing out. And we'll wait a second.
The battles of honor, battles of will, sparks will fly. Some fight for pride, some fight for glory. Will this be decided by pure muscle, or will a battle of wits determine the outcome?
Well, what about a battle of wills?
Tonight, who will win the title of champion? Who will be crowned with the winner's wreath? Whose tale of glory will resound for generations? All that remains are the dreams of the warriors. As the Grand Prix plunges into its final chapter, the P1 climax is...
barely getting started!
Well, that was the thing.
Hey, what was that just now? Weren't those the persona users in Inaba? It showed Mitsuru-senpai and the others, too.
I read the case records. If I recall correctly, was that the Midnight Channel that was being broadcast in Inaba? I was on it too, but it wasn't like that last time.
All of us in the helicopter are utterly confused. Who would broadcast something like that and why? P1 Climax. Obviously continuation of the fighting tournament. Suddenly the monitor switches to another feed.
Yoo-hoo! Have you been well, Labi-chan?
General Teddy? But I thought I already...
General Teddy. In the recent P1 Grand Prix, the one calling himself General Teddy turned out to be my own shadow. But I affected my shadow and gained the power to use a persona. But if he's on the screen again, then General Teddy ignores my confusion and continues.
There's no way I'd go away so easily. I mean, a P1 without me is like a tuna sandwich without the tuna.
He can hear us? Isn't he that weird persona user named Teddy?
No, he must be the General Teddy who hosted the fighting tournament last time. The record said he'd been eliminated, though. General Teddy, where did you take Mitsuru-san and the others? If you don't give us a good answer, you're gonna pay!
It's past your bedtime, Cubby.
Oof.
If you're gonna keep giving me
Savage.
I'm not going to explain anything.
Explain?
That's right. I mean, the three of you are very important guest stars in the P1 Climax, after all. So you'll participate, of course, right?
What? What are you after?
If you value the lives of the hostages, you yapping pup, you don't have any choice but to participate.
Huh?
The P1 Climax! It's the end of the world! One-on-one deathmatch that's worthy of the name Climax! And best of all, if you don't win the one-on-one tournament to the finish within the hour, the world will end! No punches pulled this time! I'll make myself clear so that no one misunderstands. This will not be taking place within the TV world. It will, in fact, take place in the reality which you occupy. Enjoy it while you can. Alrighty then. Time to show off how that special stage is going.
Video feed switches to something else. I think we're gonna have the other cutscene where we see Mitsuru-san and Mitsuru and them getting strung up. But there they are. It's funny, they showed this feed and yet they moved them around because they were all crucified in multiple different locations. So, fake feed is fake.
Was that Mitsuru-senpai?
Sanada-san, Aiga-san, and Fuka-san too!
What will be the fate of our captured queen and her loyal minions? Oh, and this is a no-fly zone. We don't have any room in the parking lot for that thing, so you'd better start walking to the battleground. As a little incentive, Persona! Kintoki Doji! Throw him a tomahawk!
If they still flew. Oh, Tomahawk missile. Right, never mind. I was about to say, wow. With that last command from the General Teddy, the monitor turns off, and after a moment of silence, Kikuno-san shouts from the cockpit.
An alarm? No. There really is a missile coming our way. Evasive maneuvers. Brace yourselves. A missile?
As soon as Kikuno-san shouts, the helicopter makes a sharp turn, and we're all thrown to the side. I was almost Irish. There's a deafening roar, and the helicopter shakes madly but recovers.
Are we hit? It barely missed, but there's a good chance that it will still detonate.
It exploded! Wait, it's a firework?
Sounded like a firework. Jaden, imagine getting shot at. You're in a helicopter, then a missile shoots at you. You just barely dodge the missile, and then it explodes in fireworks that looks like this. Anyway. Anyways, right? Let's do this. In moments after the explosion, General Teddy's face was drawn in the night sky with the colorful sparks. It even managed to capture his image, taunting us with his tongue sticking out.
He obviously missed on purpose. It was most likely fired from the direction of Inaba. That is not funny at all! Is he trying to start a war or something? Wait, what is that?
There's something in the distance. It's huge!
Yukari-san points to the shape of a gigantic building, stretching up towards the sky. Something red is writhing about in that bizarre structure, trying to envelop the town below it. Is it red fog?
I'll zoom in.
Zoom in enhanced cliche. Ding! Ikuno-san adjusts the monitor that had just been displaying General Teddy's laughing face to show us the enormous structure up ahead. I noticed Yukari-san and Kenku both tense up when they catch sight of it.
No way. This is just like
Tartarus.
Searching data for Tartarus. Results found. A labyrinth that only appears during the dark hour. A breeding ground for shadows? It was also the place where a powerful being was going to descend upon the world to bring about destruction. The documents in my hand have a page dedicated to it as well. What I read there confounds me. 3 years ago, when Mitsuru-san and her companions were in high school, something happened there. All I can gather is that they fought desperately in a tower called Tartarus that resembles the one outside. As the red fog grows thicker, the building that Ken-kun and Yukari-san referred to as Tartarus begins to disappear from our view.
I'm sorry to do this, but I have to withdraw before we're shot down.
But we've come so far!
If they fire another one at us, I won't be able to dodge again. Even if it's only a firework, a direct hit can still bring us down.
Hold on, Kikuno-san. Can you drop low enough somewhere so we can get out?
There's no way. If we land, we'll be sitting ducks.
No, once we're out, you get out of here. You don't need to land.
What are you saying?
Please, do it. Don't worry. Remember, General Teddy asked us to come on foot. We'll manage somehow.
Understood. I'm looking for a
I like that pause.
There appears to be a large shopping center nearby.
While dodging explosions from the missiles flying mercilessly toward us, the helicopter nosedives, plunging us towards the ground as we move closer to Inaba.
Labra-san, please take this. It may be of use. It contains the data that was taken from the Ergonomics Research Laboratory's top-secret files. The creator's name is Shuji Ikutsuki.
Shuji Ikutsuki. That's the name of was also in the documents that Kikuno-san had given me. He betrayed Mitsuru-san at the last moment 3 years ago and revealed himself as an enemy. Ever since the death of Koetsu Kirijo, the patriarch of the Kirijo family, two generations ago, this man took the lead in all the terrible events relating to the Shadows. That is how dangerous this man is. But the documents also say that Ikutsuki took his own life.
The file name was Project Puppet Master. I'm not entirely sure if that's a code or a description of the project.
Puppet Master? Could that be something to do with me and Aigis?
I was only able to decrypt a portion of it, but it seems to be data on an experiment involving a plume of dusk.
An experiment with a plume of dusk. So, why are you giving this to me?
It may assist you in determining the enemy's identity. Actually, I found traces of an unauthorized attempt to access this file from outside of the Ergo Research Network. I investigated this and found that the requests made to break in originated from this vicinity, likely from within Inaba itself.
Huh? So someone in Inaba knew about that research before all this started and was looking for it?
Craziness, huh? Kuno-san's nods silently. Of all the files in the quarantine server to go after, if this one was specifically targeted, then the hacker must at least have known of its presence there. The cyber attack wasn't done by some ordinary hacker who broke into the server and was looking around out of curiosity, which means that the hacker's probably either the culprit himself or someone connected to him.
The firewall prevented the intruder from accessing the file, but the attempted hacker didn't even try to cover their tracks.
What? Who would do this?
The hacker didn't even attempt to try and to cover their access to the server. Could that mean that they wanted someone to know about the existence of this file? Even if they failed to access it? That doesn't make much sense.
But the name Sho Minazuki appears many times in those files.
Who is he?
Sho Minazuki? I don't know that name. Could that person be the culprit? At the very least, there's no mistaking that this person is deeply related to this case.
I'll contact you once we crack the encryption, but in case it becomes difficult to transfer the data to you, I'll give you a copy.
Then I'll download that data into myself and take a look at the parts that you've managed to decrypt.
That would be for the best.
Gotcha. Thanks.
Ikuno-san hands me a memory card. I insert it into my memory slot and save the data onto my internal memory. Just as Ikuno-san says, most of it is experiment records. One file remains that cannot be read. Project Puppet Master. What is in that file?
We'll be over at Junes Shopping Center in a moment. Everyone, prepare to disembark.
Hold on, over there. Isn't there someone on the rooftop?
You're up here in the distance. Beyond the haze of the red fog is Inaba's largest shopping center. My search reveals that the place belongs to a chain called Junes. A blurry figure can be vaguely seen on the roof. You-kun? For a moment, I think of someone I know well. But the height and physique of the shape of the roof doesn't resemble anyone I know. Ken-kun raises a pair of binoculars that attempts to make out the figure's face. Ikutsuki? What?
That's impossible!
Huh? What's wrong?
It's Ikutsuki.
Huh? No way!
Shuji Ikutsuki? That name leaves me at a loss for words. Perhaps he's mistaken. I open the side door of the helicopter and a strong gust of wind blows in. I ignore the wind and lean out to get a better look at the person on the roof. The helicopter is suddenly attacked from an unexpected direction. The vehicle sways alarmingly. That wasn't another missile. When I look again, I see another shape standing near the figure on the rooftop. I knew it.
We're under attack by a persona!
That doesn't make any sense. According to the record, Shuji Ikutsuki was never able to use a persona. And the man on the roof is the man on the roof truly Ikutsuki? This Ikutsuki person? before I can raise an objection, Yukari-san fixes her eyes on the enemy and draws her evoker. As expected from someone who had been in actual combat for a whole year, he's quick to act.
Little persona!
Yukari-san fingers flexes around the trigger of evoker, but the instant before she pulls it, Yukari-san's persona appears, creating a whirlwind around the helicopter that repels the attacker.
What? I didn't even use my evoker yet.
Seeing Yukari-san so bewildered sends a chill down my spine. Being able to summon a persona without the necessary tool to aid in summoning. Mitsuru-san and Akihiko-san reported a similar unpleasant experience when inside the TV world. But this isn't inside the TV world. It's as outlandish and threatening as this situation is, there's no doubt that we're in the real world. General Teddy's words come back to me.
I'll make myself clear so that no one misunderstands. This will not be taking place within the TV world. It will, in fact, take place in the reality which you occupy. Enjoy it while you can.
Threatening. I feel threatened. Don't tell me. This fog is enveloping the town is the same as the fog on the other side of the TV?
What was that?
A new voice suddenly reaches my ears. Who's that? I look around in bewilderment. Did anyone actually talk? Am I hearing things? Kenkun a shout snaps me out of my thoughts.
Yukari-san, he's winding up for another one. We're getting off, Koromaru.
Yukari-san still looks confused, but Kenkun notices something and unbuckles his seatbelt, with his spear at the ready. This time, the helicopter descended close enough to the roof that Junes that people and dogs can easily jump down. Koromaru-san growls and another persona appears. At the same time, Kenkun leaps out of the cabin, stabbing the enemy persona closing in on us. Koromaru-san's persona and Kenkun's spear both hit the attacking enemy at the same time, and Kenkun drops down from the move unharmed.
It seems you're always taking on the responsibility of saving others, Yukari-san.
Seriously, it's like, again, really? But I'll take this one. After all, I save the world on a weekly basis.
Koromaru and Yukari-san drop out of the helicopter and nimbly land on the roof. Amazing. The combat abilities are equal to those of the weapons like me or Aegis. Even though they're secondary members of the Shadow Operatives, only used in times of emergency, it seems as though they've been on the team this entire time. I ready my axe and follow them.
Yukari-san, everyone, please, save Lady Mitsuru.
Baller. Baller, 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 baller. We kind of already saw this. We'll probably keep going through some of this, if only just because of the fact that, from Labrys's point of view instead of Naoto's. When I look back up to the red sky after landing, I see the helicopter gaining altitude while maintaining its balance. Thanks to Kikuno-san's desperate resolve and her piloting skills, we managed to safely reach Inaba. I check my surroundings once more while praying for Kikuno-san's safety. This is the Inaba branch of Junes, the department store chain. We're at the food court on its rooftop. Normally, there would be plenty of people here, but given the current situation, it's obviously deserted.
Where did he go?
Kenkun readies his spear and tries to peer into the fog, making visibility a problem. I look around and ready for battle as well. Whoever attacks us should be nearby.
Hey, Kenkun, did you really see Ikutsuki here a moment ago?
Yes. I didn't see him clearly, but there's no way I could have mistaken him.
That's impossible. I mean, Shuji Ikutsuki is...
That's right. Shuji Ikutsuki died 3 years ago. And we were just attacked by a persona. According to the records at that time, Ikutsuki had no persona.
At the very least, it looks like he's not nearby. We can't let our guard down yet, though.
She's right. I scan the area and read no one else here besides the 4 of us. What? What? I'm confused. That's not what happened last time. I say as much, and we lower our weapons in order to discuss our strategy.
Koromaru and I are going to continue looking for him. If that really was Ikutsuki, there's no doubt that he's involved in this case.
That's true. Can you and Koro-chan go after that guy from earlier?
But that person seemed to be using a persona. Won't it be dangerous for you two going off on your own?
The two humans look surprised for a moment and trade glances. Did I say something odd?
Don't you worry about me and Koromaru. Even if we run into something we can't defeat, we'll find a way out of it.
And honestly, it's faster for us to split up. I am a bit worried, but I'm gonna believe in you guys.
We have absolute faith in each other just, after having fought together for so long. It's not that they don't have concerns about one another, but they truly believe that they will accomplish all their goals on their own. I wonder, will these people ever feel the same way about me? After all this time, I realize how the time shared between Yukari-san and Ken-kun separates me from my companion.
So I'll head to the station to get Junpei. It didn't seem like he'd figured out the situation yet.
Huh? Weren't you talking to him on the phone earlier?
I was, but that idiot's phone ran out of batteries or something while we were still talking. But even if I can't rely on him to keep his phone charged, he's still good in a fight. So I have to meet up with him.
I see. He seems like kind of a goofball.
Right? He's always been so useless. Huh? Did I say something funny?
Nah, not really. It just sounded like you were actually kind of fond of him.
Oh, I guess so. Yeah, I think you're right.
These people trust each other. They're always thinking of one another. When one of them faces danger, the others always rush in to help them. A term comes to mind: ideal companion. I wonder how Yu-kun and his friends are doing. I have the feeling that his group and Mitsuru-san's group are going through similar problems after all.
What about you, Labras? What'll you do?
Huh?
I hope Mitsuru-san and the others are okay. Could you please go right to that tower? We'll head over there too as soon as we can.
Yukari-san and Ken-kun looked at me. It doesn't matter that to them that I haven't known them for very long. They see me as a companion and trust me.
Right. It's decided then. Labras, you head to that tower. Oh, also, something felt off when I summoned my persona earlier. You might want to be careful.
You felt it too? It was like, well, it felt like the evoker wasn't working, didn't it?
Yeah, it might be that we can summon our personas without our evokers.
In any case, we should get moving.
Which was dangerous back in P3,
is true. We don't have much time to spare.
Got it. If anything happens, let's meet at the bottom of the tower. Be careful, both of you.
Yukari-san and I leave Ken-kun on the roof and head to the stairs. Shigi and I split up not long after, but all of us firmly believing we'll see each other safely once more.
Wait for us, Mitsuru-san.
I run at my full speed and turn my eyes towards the Lumen Tower. I will rescue her. I like your funny words, Magic Mane. Yeah, I know that that's Bostonian, and maybe I was mixing Brooklyn with Bostonian in my mush mouth, but whatever. Oh. Margaret. Hi. Strange. Oh. And we're in this?
There appears to be quite a commotion.
Sister, I've been wondering since yesterday, but what is going on in the outside world?
Hi, Theo. Why are you showing up now?
I believe you could say that those kids' ordeal is still continuing.
An ordeal, you say?
Yes. In other words, mankind's potential is being tested.
Potential? Sister, where might Elizabeth be right now? Abandoning the duties given to us by our master and going out into the outside world is normally forbidden to us. Why did Elizabeth go through all that just to head out into the outside world? I'm sorry. It was presumptuous of me to ask.
I suddenly feel thirsty. Do you feel like drinking a cola?
A cola, you say?
My, don't tell me that you don't know what that is.
Of course I do. Elizabeth told me about it. An ebon monster compressed into a metal cylinder, waiting for the moment its prison is released to spring into the eyes of the unwary spewing foam.
Yeah, that sounds like the way that Elizabeth would describe Coca-Cola, for sure.
Quite. Well then, I task you with the acquisition of about 100 of these colas.
You want me to do this? But cola only exists in the outside world.
I merely ask for the cola. How and where you perform your task is at your discretion, even if it takes you into the outside world.
Sister.
Yes, what is it?
While I'm out, may I go see what's going on outside?
That would be none of my business. All I asked you to do is go on an errand for me. Shouldn't you hurry? Our master will be returning soon.
Yes, I'll go at once.
I guess it can't be helped that he's drawn to the outside world right now. This current aberrance in the outside world is centered on that red-haired guest, and Persona users have gathered to it, as if caught up in that fate. Even my heart races just thinking about it.
Okay.
It's troublesome having siblings so brimming with curiosity.
Yeah, Margaret feels like the elder sister to the two of them, for sure. Both Elizabeth and Theo. That was short and sweet. And no internal monologues, but that's fair enough. Yeah, we're probably not going to get any Labris because technically she was in the P4. So let's again get rid of Ken. Get through Ken's stuff.
Another dead end.
Cipher. I sighed for the umpteenth time that day. And Koromaru and I trade glances. While searching for that mysterious figure that appeared to look so much like Yakutsuki, we ended up on the Samagawa floodplain that flows through Inaba. We went down to the stairway into Junez without incident, but from there the town was shrouded in red mist. Every path was twisted like a maze, turning us away from the direction we wanted to go. Having gone so long without finding a means of any meaningful information, I was starting to worry a little. In any case, the entire situation. Town filled with red fog at the stroke of midnight, turning into another world. The appearance of another tower that just looks like Tartarus.
Careful, Koromaru. At this rate, I wouldn't be surprised if we ran into shadows.
Koromaru seems to nod. Still, it really is like the dark hour. Never truly ended. While I had been living in my life in peace like a child, the world was still in danger. And I was left out in the cold.
Why didn't anyone tell me anything? I'm definitely strong enough to fight beside everyone else. Being removed from the unit just because of my age isn't fair. Right?
I Shadow Ken.
Who's there?
I shout at the fog and a dark shape nonchalantly walks out of the mist towards us. Koromaru begins to growl.
And you're irritated about it. Is that me?
The shape turns out to be two figures. I'm still kind of in my Brooklyn Boston accent, trying to find the right word for it. Me and Koromaru. It's like looking into a mirror.
What's the meaning of this? Even if you try to deceive us with those appearances, it's no use.
I'm tired of doing it, especially for Ken, really.
Being a child only on the surface, peaceful only on the surface, friends only on the surface. Aren't such things only nuisances? Shut up! I know how you feel because I'm you. Or to be more precise, I'm a perfect copy based on everything there is to you. That's why I can tell what you're thinking, what dissatisfies you, and how much you desire to fight. So what? What does what I'm thinking have anything to do with you?
Can't help but raise my voice. Let me say, yeah. Let's see how bad that thing is in me. Luckily, this isn't his actual shadow, because otherwise that would be dangerous thinking right there.
It does involve me. I mean, you want to fight, don't you? Then we have the same objective.
What?
Persona.
Crap!
Koromaru's sharp barking brings me to my senses, and an enemy seems to have summoned a persona, one exactly like mine. Kalanemi. Its attack striking directly at me.
Look out, kid!
Oh! Was this what Kanji was up to in the interim? What am I doing? I need to focus. I desperately try to sort out what just happened. Somebody tall just jumped in front of me. Did he protect me? The person who was struck dead on by the persona's attack falls heavily to his knees. I'm instantly reminded of another time when someone else died protecting me. I've made the same mistake again.
Damn it! Hey kid, what are you walking your dog around here for? And such a goddamn adorable dog, too.
Kanji, I love you, but dude.
Huh? That wasn't what I meant to say. Hurry up and find somewhere safe. Things are dangerous here right now.
You're...
Stare dumbfounded at the man who shielded me. This must be Kanji Tatsumi, one of the Inaba persona users described in the files that I went over in the helicopter fight. Actually, that's hilarious. If he's actually a first year at Gekkokan High? No, sorry. Kanji would be a second year, so he would be a senpai by a year. Never mind. He still seems okay. That's a relief. Actually, he appears to have a lot of energy to spare. He must be really tough.
Kanji-kun, here comes another! Sukuna Hikuna, go!
I'm confused. Why is this so different from the other one? The setup was exactly the same, then all of a sudden it completely diverges. Because, yes, Ken and Naoto meet, but Naoto meets Ken by herself. What's going on? I'm so confused right now.
Kanji-kun, you were being reckless again. Are you alright?
Naoto, grab the kid and get out of here. I'll take care of this.
Bravery and recklessness are not the same thing. We'll do something about this.
Naoto-san turns to face me. Does this person know about me?
You're Ken Amada, a member of the Shadow Operatives Emergency Special Suppression Unit, correct? And you're Koromaru-san. Please lend us your help. We want to return this town to its normal state.
Huh? Shadow Operatives? Are you a Persona user too? Wait, does that mean the dog's got a Persona too?
Looks like we have some more shitty guests. Fine, whatever. Just hurry up and make a decision. Which of you is fighting me? Oh, you don't have to fight, but your captured companions are having their powers drained, and things may become irreversible if you don't hurry.
What? What are you doing to them?
Who knows? Why don't you find out for yourselves? In any case, bring on the ring.
That was undersold.
Yeah, a barrier.
Indeed. It must mean that unless we fight and win, we won't be able to proceed any further.
Oh good, you understand. That makes things easier. This will be a one-on-one battle. Can we start fighting already? I can't wait any longer.
Cut the bullshit, you fake! You just said it was one-on-one, so what's with the dog?
What, this? The mud hardly counts. He's just a weapon after all.
Oh, don't fucking do that, because there we go. Kanji-san and Naoto-san are standing between me and this double as if to protect me. I step forward past them. I've been too naive. Not only did I let this thing's words deceive me, but I let myself make the same mistakes I had before. Even worse, I just called Koromaru-san nothing more than a weapon. It's been a while since I've last felt this emotion. I can't let this go unpunished.
I had been too conceited. I didn't understand anything at all.
Ken-kun?
Naoto, don't butt into this. Comes a time when a man's gotta do what a man's gotta do. Ken, huh? I got your back, so settle this for yourself.
Kanji-san takes a seat on the ground. Naoto sees this and holsters her gun and nods to me. So awkward. But I'm thankful for their kindness right now.
I will win this. Let's go, Koromaru!
As I raise my spear, the image of someone standing protectively in front of me resonates within. From back then, and again just now. A shadow that looks like me stands before me. I defeat it, I wonder if I'll be able to change. Game on, let's go. Clap, 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 clap. Game on, let's go. I don't know what I'm doing with Ken at all. Ooh. That was really rough because of the way it was almost like in Blaze Blue in particular, having the puppet on the other side. It was a little funky. Interesting. Just as the document said, the two of them were summoning their personas without having to use evokers. Because of that, I thought that perhaps I would be able to do this though as well. I was right. But being able to summon personas like this should only be possible in that TV world. Has something changed to make this place the same as that other world? While I was thinking about that, I watched the thing that I had taken my shape melt into a puddle, burning like a burning candle. Koromaru sniffs suspiciously at the puddle of black goo and barks once.
Is this a shadow?
Huh? I thought somebody's shadow was supposed to turn into a persona when you beat it.
Kanji-kun, didn't you notice that wasn't a shadow that came out of Ken-kun? It must have been a fake created to bear his likeness. The most obvious evidence of that is how both fighters were able to summon personas in battle.
Defeating your own shadow makes them into your persona? I see. So that's how you acquired the power of personas.
Huh? That's not how it went for you guys?
Yes, we do things a little differently. In any case, thank you.
It's fine. Ow.
Kanji-kun, are you alright?
I'm sorry. It's my fault that you got hurt.
Hey, it's nothing. But, to make up for it...
Yes, what is it?
You think maybe I could, like, pat you on the back or something?
Crazy?
What?
I think he's talking specifically about Koromaru, but I'm not sure yet. Beefcake Emperor.
Oh wow, this is amazing! Oh my god, he's an albino Shiba! This is totes adorbs! Shiba!
Oh, you meant Koromaru.
That's what I was hoping for.
Who else? Who's a good dog? Who's got himself a persona? Is it you? Is it you?
I wish they would have redrawn Kanji's freaking avatar to have him look really cutesy at Koromaru.
We don't have time for this, Kanji-kun. Perhaps later.
Right. Sorry about that, Koro-chan.
Kanji-san lets Koromaru go and pulls himself together
There's
before
something
turning.
I'd like to ask you, Ken-kun. Did you see the Midnight Channel broadcast that came on earlier?
The one where Mitsuru-san and her friends were crucified, right? Was that for real?
I saw it while we were in the helicopter. We were searching for them after they went missing.
I see. Then it's quite possible that what was shown on the Midnight Channel was true.
I have no conclusive evidence that the video was real, but we ought to consider that it was. If that fake me wasn't lying, then they're in danger. We have to hurry and rescue them.
Indeed. Please allow me to get a better grasp of the situation first. Are there any other members of the Shadow Operatives here?
There are 3 of us, including me. Oh, and if we manage to meet up with another one who might be here, that would make 4. I came with Yukari-san and Labra-san. It seems that Junpei-san got here on his own as well. We split up at Junes, and we're now on the move separately. Labra-san headed to the tower, and Yukari-san went to find Junpei-san. Koromaru and I are... we're pursuing someone in particular.
Someone in particular? Is this person related to the case?
I don't know yet, but I'm positive that he attacked our helicopter.
I see. All right then. Is there anything you know about what's happening in this town and that tower that suddenly appeared? Is this
More of this
reminiscent of the dark hour that you have experience with?
That's...
You do know something, but it's difficult to explain. Is that accurate?
Yes, I'm sorry.
I can understand well why you're keeping your lips tight, but...
Oh boy.
Hey, stop playing hard to get and just spill the beans already. You know you can count on us.
Kanji-kun's right. Mitsuru-san and the others are close to us too. They must be saved as quickly as possible. Don't we have the same objective here? And there's no reason that we shouldn't be cooperating with each other.
Close to you.
Oh
I
boy.
see. So that's what happened. But even the document I read reported that Shuji Akutsuki had died. What is going on here?
All right. If that's the case, then it'd be fastest if we just charge straight into that tower. Oh!
Hold on. We should head to Junes for now. It's possible that the others have gathered there. And your injuries are considerable, Kanji-kun. I'll accompany you.
Huh? Don't I have any say in?
Kanji-kun.
Fine.
What will you do, Ken-kun? Coming to Junes with us is one idea.
Let's see.
Hey, what's up?
Huh?
Your buddies are in danger, so you want to go save them, right? And stop wasting your time thinking about it and go.
Kanji-san.
There's no need to be concerned about us. We'll keep an eye out for anyone resembling Akutsuki on our way to Junes.
Does Kanji know what Akutsuki looks like though? Naoto might, because she had access to the files, but Kanji?
There's no time. You need to hurry. Once we've met up with our friends, we'll find you again.
Thank you.
Ha! That's all you had to say from the start. Careful though. Another fake might try to jump you like the one here did.
Yes, I know. I won't let my guard down anymore.
Good! Now get going!
Right. Please be careful, you two.
Kanji gets to be a senpai! Look at that! That's amazing! And it probably makes sense that Kanji is the one acting most like a senpai for— oh my god, my hair's just all over the place right now. Let me take my cap off at this point. It's just being a pain. It's just being a pain. There we go. There. Because Akihiko is at least similar, both in the fact that brawlers, essentially. And though obviously Akihiko's got the platinum hair where Kanji's more bleach blonde. And it's natural for Akihiko, I believe, because I think he's got like white eyebrows. Whereas Kanji is clearly dyed because he has black eyebrows. Give me. Thank you, I was tired of Ken. Honestly, Ken's probably my least favorite. Not least favorite, I shouldn't say it that way. But he's not as interesting a character to me as the others. Oh, wrong button. That's what had happened. But things are different. It's kind of weird. Everything's still and I feel like I'm being left behind in the flow of
Like I
time.
thought, there's something wrong with the entire town. This is just like the Dark Hour.
The dark hour, leaving the fog aside, this town situation seems very similar to back then. Small pang in my heart when I think about some long-forgotten sensations. But I don't feel anxious. Like back then, I'm going to save these people close to me.
Anyway, I've got to meet up with Junpei so we can look for Mitsuru-senpai and the others.
Easy enough to say, but the entire town has become something of a maze. Having trouble getting close to the station since leaving the others at Junes. I've walked for quite a distance.
Oh, I wonder if everyone's okay. I'm worried about Kikuno-san too. If only Fuka was here.
The sound of the helicopter faded away quickly after it left. The town is oddly quiet. I'm actually glad there aren't any other people around, though. I didn't have time to change. I'm still in my feather pink costume. It didn't bother me much when I was in the helicopter, but just imagining walking around like this where other people might see me would be embarrassing beyond belief.
That's quite a bizarre look you have there, Yukari.
Mitsuru-senpai?
See a familiar silhouette through the fog. Wait, what? Why is she dressed like a villain from my show? I mean, I know she's never been all that interested in fashion, but in any case, I'm relieved to see her.
Thank goodness you're okay. Are Fuka and Akihiko-senpai with you too? Where's Aigis?
Who knows? Most likely disgracing herself in some unsightly way somewhere. She's capable of getting herself killed on her own.
Oh god, that sounds nothing like freaking Mitsuru. Why are you making it so hard? Let's go.
Mitsuru-senpai?
Don't you think so? You came to this place to do battle to begin with. Isn't that so, Yukari Takeba?
Something's not right. I recall something about the files about a previous Pre-1 Grand Prix. When two people would meet, their words would be twisted, enraging them until a fight ensued. Is that what's happening here?
Mitsuru-senpai, are you alright? Are you really hearing what I'm saying?
Ah, forgive me. We're both under the same circumstances, so let's get along. We were both released from those foolish restraints of our fathers, after all.
A repulsive blast causes something to snap within me.
Birthday.
Okay. Dad. I don't care if this is a trap or not. Before I realize it, I'm shouting back at Mitsuru-senpai.
Don't play games with me! You promised me that we'd fulfill our dad's wishes! That we'd have them watch over us as we work together!
Right, Daddy?
Hold it right there! Please stop fighting over me!
Huh? What the?
Over what? Strange round object bounced between us. Huh? Is this somebody in a costume? Wait, I remember seeing this in the files Kikuno-san had prepared for us. This is a persona user from Inaba. I think the person was wearing it was named Teddy. Wait, it's talking now?
Wowza! I was drawn to the smell of beauties, but here's a couple that are dressed kinda weird.
Excuse you? You've seen Mitsuru dressed like this before. Like, okay, Yukari, fine. It's dressed the same way she was last time. Yeah, okay. I might not be dressed very sensibly right now, but you're the one wearing a full-body animal suit.
But this isn't Michan. It's a complete fake trying to mimic Michan's beautiful bod.
Michan? You mean Mitsuru-senpai? Hold on a sec. A fake?
That's right! This Michan is made of shadows and boom!
She got punched. Just then, Mitsuru-senpai kicks Teddy square in the face, and the suit goes flying with tremendous force and rolls to the edge of the street. He doesn't move a muscle from there. Wonder if he's still alive.
Shut up, now bring on the ring.
Things drop.
Are you really a fake Mitsuru-senpai?
Yes. I didn't intend to hide that fact from you. I am a duplicate.
You took Mitsuru-senpai's form and mocked my dad! I will not forgive this!
I'm in a simple fit of rage. A phenomenon similar to the Dark Hour. A tower that looks like Tartarus. Anything could happen now. It wouldn't surprise me. But for this thing, take on the form of my best friend and do what it did, it's absolutely unforgivable.
You're a shadow, right? I won't show you any mercy!
Let's see how this goes, shall we? I have no idea how to control Yukari, really. I did a little bit with her, but not too much. I should have. I assume Yukari's more of a zoner. can't burst. There we go. Nice and simple. And a melting Mitsuru.
Yikes! Gross! Oh, but she really was a shadow.
Can't help but wonder at the bizarre sight. That's when Teddy comes rushing over, his footsteps making strange squeaky sound. Thank goodness it looks like he hasn't been hurt too badly.
Are you okay? Are you hurt at all?
Nah, but thanks. I'm just a bit ashamed of myself. I knew that was a trap, but I couldn't keep myself from getting worked up. And that wasn't even the real Mitsuru, but a shadow. It's not even funny.
When the topic of my dad came up, I lost my cool. I thought I'd already sorted out my feelings about him too.
Don't feel bad. I mean, I have a keen nose, but I have to get up close and personal to sniff out the difference.
With that, Teddy turns his face to me and his nose twitches. Huh? Must be a very elaborate costume. Or maybe it's not a costume at all. In either case, it seems that this Teddy character has a search ability like Fuka's persona.
Really? Well, thanks. I survived thanks to you.
One must be kind to the ladies. That's the family motto of the Teddy clan.
There's a clan of you? I don't want to even consider that there's more of you, dude.
If you say so. But you're a persona user from this town, right? I'm Yukari Takiba, a member of the Shadow Operatives. Does that mean anything to you?
Oh, you must be a friend of Michan then, Yuka-chan. So, are those clothes a uniform or something?
Yuka-chan, huh? Actually, there's a good reason why I'm dressed like this.
I can sense at least 2 reasons right around here.
Hey, what do you— Hey! Feather Smash!
Oh, how cruel! I was just saying hello. Ooh, no wonder you're a hero of Justice Featherman victory. Even the cold female boss Michan didn't stand a chance against you.
Hear a voice and turn around to discover a TV that somehow appeared behind us without either of us noticing. General Teddy is on the screen, and he had been while I was in the helicopter. The more I look at him, the more he looks just like the Teddy standing next to me, but they're different people, right? He might even be a fake, just like the copy of Mitsuru Senpai that I just fought.
I know you're here, you imposter! Stop hiding and show yourself! All you did was roll on the ground, but you've got quite a cheeky mouth. But whatever. The real Michan's execution show is gonna start soon, you know?
Execution?
You can't miss this event. The Execution Queen is going to be executed herself. If you don't want that to happen, maybe you should stop dallying around like this and hurry to the tower where I am, Yuka-chan! Hey, hold it right there! Give Michan and the others back!
Just like that, General Teddy disappears from the screen. Mitsuru Senpai's gonna be executed? I have to put a stop to it. I really want to find Junpei, but I might have to leave him for later.
Oh no, we have to hurry and save her. Teddy, didn't you say that you have a keen nose?
Yep. You want me to find Michan with my nose, right? Well, I can't stop sneezing in this red fog, though.
Oh, so that's why you were sneezing when you got here. So, it would be helpful if you could search for her.
I'll do it. If Michan's in trouble, I can't rest until she's safe.
Thanks. Having you come along is really reassuring.
Wowza Bo Bowza! I've been recognized for my skills. I, Teddy, swear to be your knight from this moment forth.
What about Labyrinth? Weren't you her knight?
Well then, shall we get going, Sir Knight? You can tell me more about your friends, too. But the next time you try something funny, I'll blast you with a hyper feather shot. Got it?
Ah! You're so cruel, Yuka-chan!
Oh boy. This actually I buy might have happened somewhere in between. Except for the fact that... No, Still a little weird. Alright. Junpei shows up at the food court. So who's he meeting, huh? Alright, he was going into Junez. After I dash into Junez, I run up the first set of stairs I can find.
Man, there's something about being in an empty department store that just makes me want to run around.
Okay, that's a stupid thing to say, even for me. Anyway, as I say that, I hear another scream. Oh, right. We need to rescue whoever that is first. I see what appears to be a rooftop on the other side of the doorway, and I slam the door open. I can see banners for things like takoyaki and yakisoba set up in an open space. Oh, so this is what a shopping centers in the countryside are like. There are two girls standing in the central area. They both turn to look at me. Could my gallant entry have caught the attention of both of them? One of them is dark-haired girl wielding a fan-like weapon, and the other... Huh? I feel like I've seen her before.
Huh? What the?
That face. That voice. Could it be?
Holy whoa! Reset? The real Reset? Seriously?
And who are you?
She tilts her head cutely and looks at me, eyes brimming with tears. Whoa, it really is Reset! I have her DVDs! Well, what should I do? I'm elated from the unexpected good luck. I rushed between the two girls, reflexively shielding Reset.
I'm the guy who's gonna save you. Don't you
She's
fear?
the fake, isn't she?
I'm here.
Ah, yeah, I pulled it off. I bet that definitely run Reset over.
And you are? After what you've done to the town and how you've been protecting a fake, you must be the culprit.
What now?
What does she mean, culprit? I'm superiority. I protect justice more than anything else.
Don't play dumb. You did such horrible things to Labris, and now you've gotten Matsuro-san and the others. Put this town back to normal, at once!
This doesn't sound like I feel because it's Junpei that the Risei is the fake one, but it's not 100% the way I picture Yukiko. Huh? Who? Wait, is that the name of Agus' sister? Yucatan mentioned her. Wait, he mentioned Mitsuru-senpai too! Crap, I think this girl's really misunderstanding me.
There's a misunderstanding. Something's not right here. We need to talk this over.
I desperately try to explain myself, but somebody weakly tugs on my sleeve. I turn around and get an up-close and personal view of the real Reset. Oh man, she's cute.
Please, won't you help me? That scary girl is
Okay, she's definitely fake.
She's so mean.
It's very clear that she's fake. Now the question is, how real is Yukiko too?
Huh? Okay, she looks scary, but she doesn't look like a bad person. Actually, she's kind of cute.
If you won't come, then I'll make the first move. Go Konohana Sakuya!
A persona? That shape that appeared when the dark-haired girl called out was definitely a persona. He's a persona user too? If that's the case... If this girl's the girl's persona comes flying towards me, breathed in flames, and crashes with my own persona in a sound like glass smashing into glass. The two personas are locked against each other in combat. The dark-haired girl seems surprised at my ability to summon a persona too.
Like I was saying, can you wait a sec? Why are you doing this? Violence isn't the answer, you know.
Don't waste your breath! I will protect my friends and my town!
This is why I think that the way that the Risei is just so fake that I know that that's a fake Risei. And this is something that I could feel Yukiko could do. It just is a little overblown. But then again, she's meeting somebody she has no idea who it is, protecting a fake Risei, so... On closer inspection, the dark-haired girl's eyes are dead serious. It sense her powerful determination through the power of her persona. But I can't hold back any longer. This isn't good. Off us both.
What a pain! What are you, stupid or something?
Dark-haired girl gets blasted across the arena with a scream. When I turn back in surprise, I see another long-haired persona. What? This is totally unexpected turn of events. Reset has a persona too? And that persona made that attack just now.
How long are you gonna keep up this stupid charade? Cheap sob stories don't bring in the ratings these days. What use are friends anyway?
That's why definitely fake resave. Okay.
What?
I'm surprised to hear words like that coming out of this cute pop idol. What's wrong, Reset?
That's not true. I try harder because of my friends. They make me stronger. They give me people to live up to and people to protect. And if you deny that strength, then I cannot lose against you.
Yep. I can understand that feeling. He's right. Aw, crap. Does this mean I jumped into this thing and immediately took the wrong side?
You make me sick. Hey, aren't you supposed to be on my side? Hurry up and deal with her.
Yikes, Reset's face is even scarier than anything I've seen Yucatan pull off. To think that she's this kind of girl when she looks so cute. Appearances can be deceiving, huh?
No.
Well, I feel my world's been crushed. I recall that Yucatan wannabe I met earlier. I couldn't tell if she was real or fake at first either. Alright, this could be a fake Reset too? Dang, there's no way to tell. Alright.
Hey, say something, you baseball freak.
Sorry.
Huh?
I can't do anything on my own. And people have been helping me all the time until now, too. But because I can't do anything by myself, I want to stay strong for someone else. That's why, even if you're the real Reset, I can't side with you.
Get it. That was something I learned from back then when that I've been telling the kids. Well, that doesn't mean that everything you do gets results, though. Even then, I'm only standing here now because of the support of everyone else.
What's with these cheap cliches? Take a look in the mirror before you say stuff like that. Oh well, I guess it's fine. It would have been more fun if the two of you actually went at it. But I'll invite you both to my last concert before the world ends. Now, bring on the ring!
Oof. The face of the familiar teen idol distorts and her eyes change color into an eerie gold. When Reset raises her hand, 4 red pillars come crashing from the sky through the fog and slam into 4 corners of the food court. Oh, I recognize this. Looks like I was right.
You're not the culprit?
I'm Junpei Iori, the nuclear warhead of the Shadow Operative missile. I'm sorry I doubted you.
Why did he keep changing his title?
The Shadow Operatives? You mean Mitsuru-san?
Yep, that's right. Can you stand back a little? It hardly counts as an apology, but I'll take care of this for you.
Alrighty. Yeah, I assume we're not going to be able to pick any of the P4 characters. It's all going to be P3, and maybe at most we'll be able to play as Labras later.
Final.
Ran right back into it. That's hilarious.
What a relief. I'm glad you won.
Whoop. That was kind of crazy. Melting people is always gross.
Holy crap. Man, that was tough.
Stylish victory, of course. Even though my ears are still ringing. When the red pillars shatter, the fake Reset crumbles and melts. Yeah, that's going into my personal nightmare fuel folder for a while. Maybe I can use this as a new story for Junpei's Believe It, or Don't.
Thank you, Junpei-san. I'm Yukiko Imagi.
Yukiko-san, huh? Are you a high schooler from around here? Can I ask you something?
Huh? Are you hitting on me?
It's stuff like this that there's a YouTuber I've been following that's been doing a lot of Persona deep dives, specifically on character and what's the word I'm looking for? Character and societal implications of a bunch of things in Persona. And she just came out with a Chie Yukiko one. And she said that possibly that might be an auto defense that she has against people hitting her on her, but the fact that of her obliviousness to being hit on, but when she, you know. Anyway.
What? Come on, really? I just want to know what's going on in this town.
I'm sorry. I get caught up with weird people too often. I mean, you've got a beard and a baseball bat.
Come on, you're treating me more like a criminal suspect than a dude who's hitting on you. I'm not a bad guy, okay? But I can see how you get caught up in situations like that. I mean, you are cute. When it happens, use the Junpei-style stranger danger technique.
Which is...
Junpei style? Oh, is that like Hanayagi style?
Something like that. I teach kids baseball, and I also teach them basic self-defense from suspicious people.
Hold on. What is Hanayagi style? Is that a fake thing? Oh, closest thing I see is Hanayagi, like styling to what's it called? The floral arrangement stuff.
Stranger danger technique number 1. First, you have to yell really loud. Always start by yelling for help.
Huh, okay.
What?
Like that?
Yeah, that was pretty promising. Huh?
Yukiko-senpai, get away from him! Himiko!
The real one. Reset is standing near the entrance to the food court even though she just appeared a moment ago. Could this be the real one? She has her persona out, and I feel like she's just menacing. This is menacing as the fake from before.
Get away from her, you perv!
Holy crap, that was close. This is a misunderstanding, Reset. A misunderstanding.
Turns out luck isn't on my side today. Like, it's actively working against me. I get called a perv by my favorite teen idol. When I learned that she has a persona, she hits me with it.
Hold on, Risei-chan. He has a beard, but he's not a creep. Huh?
So, having a beard means that you're a creep? Oh dear. Reset finally stops attacking when she hears Yukiko-san call out, and I desperately explain what I've been through up until now. Oh wow, this is really Reset! The real Reset! Maybe luck's on my side after all.
I'm so sorry. I thought Yukiko-senpai was screaming because she was being assaulted. But I'm glad you're okay. I figured that if I came to the food court, there'd be someone else here.
I'm glad you're okay too, Risei-chan. And it looks like you can use your persona to fight now? That's amazing!
It's true that Reset's persona was impressive. Add that with her calling me a perv, and I feel like this experience is gonna traumatize me.
So, this is Junpei Iori. He's supposedly a nuclear landmine for the Shadow Operatives.
Oh, so you're one of Mitsuru-san's team. I'm Risei Fujikawa. It's nice to meet you.
You too. Just call me Junpei. And that's supposed to be nuclear warhead, okay?
A nuclear landmine sounds like a huge weakness, doesn't it? That's not what I want to be known as. Then again, neither one of these two seems to have much interest in me, do they?
So, why are you here, Junpei-san? Are you on duty?
Well, I kinda overslept. And then I found out that Mitsuru-senpai and the others are missing, and this town's been turned into this...
Huh? Mitsuru-san and the others are missing? Are they okay?
Well, the Midnight Channel came on again, and General Teddy said there'd be another tournament. It seems that's where they're being held.
Huh? What's the Midnight Channel? It sounds kind of like an adult-rated cable show.
I mean, to be fair, he's not wrong. He's not wrong at all.
They've already been captured? We've got to hurry and save them. Hold on, I'll try searching for them.
Oh, but I think I know where they are. They're probably over where our school is on the hill.
Though my question gets completely ignored, I look in the direction Yukiko-san points and I see a long, thin shadow, like a pole stuck to the ground. Could that be? All the stuff I've seen in this town so far. Dark hour, shadows. Of course, the next would be...
Tartarus?
I'm at a loss for words. I mean, it's not too hard to imagine the tower would show up here, especially with the way things are at the moment. If that's the case, I bet 1,000,000 yen that Yucatan and the others are going to be headed there. Well, if I went there too, I might be able to meet up with everyone.
Junpei-san, is anybody else from the Shadow Operatives here too?
Oh yeah, I think so. Maybe?
I'm not really listening to her, so my automatic answer is probably isn't what she wants to hear. The sudden silence snaps me out of my thoughts, and I look at the two girls staring at me, frowning.
Are you really a member of the Shadow Operatives? You seem fishy. Maybe he's a fake after all.
No, I'm real. Look, all of us have a badge, like this.
Huh.
I frantically explain my situation and show them my badge I carry with me. Even though I managed to get them to believe me, I'm a little ashamed that I don't have much information to give. That can't be helped, so we conclude that Reset will search for the surrounding area with her persona. But isn't it inevitable that I wouldn't know much about what's going on? Then again, it is kind of my fault I fell asleep on the train.
Well, give me a sec. Himiko, search mode!
Reset's persona takes on a dramatically different form. She closes her eyes and concentrates, so it's pretty obvious she started searching the area. Wow. It's amazing she has a persona that can both search and fight.
I have 4 readings heading towards Yasogami High and that tower. I think one of them is Labris, but I don't know about the other 3. Huh? Labris is here too? Mm-hmm. I can't communicate with her because the interference is so bad, but I'm pretty sure.
And those other readings aren't shadows, right?
They feel like persona users. One of them is strangely small, though.
It's probably Koromaru. He's a dog.
A dog? A dog can use a persona? How?
Lots of willpower.
I don't know. He just can.
How can Teddy use a persona?
Junpei-san, you seem pretty vague about everything.
They're probably disappointed just because he's older, you know, since he's supposed to be in college. Because I'm gonna say, this is like if you ran into Kanji and he started trying to explain stuff. Come on. I feel like they're being really harsh without any hesitation. 3 readings that Reset doesn't know. One of them is Koromaru, then the other one next to him must be Ken. Then the last one should be Yucatan. I tell the 2 girls about the others. Reset continues searching.
Oh, there's someone near here. Naoto-kun. And Kanji? Kanji's reading is pretty weak, though. He might be injured. You can't communicate with them, right?
Ooh, Snow Queen's,
If they're
nice.
close, then should we go directly there to help them out? Yeah, but then we're putting a hold on rescuing Mitsuru-san and her team, aren't we?
Right. So you 2 should hurry to where this Kanji-kun is. I'll keep heading to that tower. Based on what you said before, it sounds like my comrades are going that way after all.
Okay. Oh, but...
Oh, right. That would leave you 2 girls alone. Do you want me to go with you? I mean, if you really want me, I'll do it.
I'm suggesting the 2 girls might want me around, just in case of... well, just in case. I noticed that they're both looking at me with blank expressions. Huh? What's going on? Did I say something weird?
Junpei-san, are you going to be okay on your own? Are you sure you won't get lost? The town's turned into something like a maze.
Oh, that. Maybe they're the ones worried about me. I wonder how low their opinion of me is right now.
I'll be fine. Maybe I don't look it, but I've got experience with stuff like this.
Oh, okay. We'll go meet up with the others before heading to that tower. Please be careful, Junpei-san.
With that, the 2 girls easily leave the food court. They didn't freak out over the bizarre situation at all. Man, high school girls these days sure are tough. I pull myself together and begin rushing towards that Tartarus-like tower. Ever since I became a Shadow Operative. Jaden could have told you that. Show just came into the chat and said, "Dear God, Beat Saber is intense."
Yeah.
When we went to go visit my friend over in Louisiana over the summer last year, Jaden played a metric butt ton of Beat Saber using his PS5 VR. PS5 or PS4? Do you remember? Okay. Ever since I became a Shadow Operative, this is the first time I've encountered in a normal situation like this. Basically, the last time something like this happened to me was 3 years ago. While I'm running, I think back on what happened back then and remember him. Don't you worry about me, man. I got this. Wow, that whole episode was like, oh god, Junpei, stop. And then that last line made me go like, oh no, I'm remembering things. Oh, the feels are coming out, why? Gonna hang with me too, huh? Active queen. 10 minutes, you should go take a bath, okay, buddy?
I keep telling you not to do it. They're a real pain, you know? Cripes, you never shut up, do you?
Huh?
Just shut up, you little shit.
Bingo.
Shut up before I cut you down right now. I thought you called me because you needed me. You're the one who's getting impatient. Well, I'm going for a walk.
You know, there's another character I could think of with, well, I'm going for a walk, and that would be scary. Not Adachi, but he's a close second.
Son of a bitch, I really am gonna kill him sooner or later. Hey, switch with me.
Sound. No. Voices. Two voices responding to each other. Conversation. I feel two presences nearby. My senses slowly return as I rise out of unconsciousness. Before I can register the individual's words being said, the conversation ends. I feel one presence in the room moving away.
Looks like you're awake.
I furrow my brow. The person standing before me has a different presence than either of the two I'd sent. But that's right, she was the censor before Fuka came into play, so she actually can do this too. Red-haired young man. Yasukami High uniform? Did a child like him capture us?
What have you done with the others? Let them go at once.
So those are your first words after regaining consciousness. I don't think you understand your situation.
Damn.
I understand that I've been captured by some boorish people at the very least.
We were ambushed in Inaba Pass, caught completely off guard. The limousine was sent over the edge with us inside, and now I find myself here. My arms and legs are bound. Someone has taken in binding... Someone has taste in binding me like this. I recall a particularly loathsome memory from the past. I assume it was something with their social link that I'm not remembering right now? The cross must be the cause. Oh, no, never mind. I remember what it was now. And I was remembering that scene when I first saw them on crosses way back, you know, earlier this week. This cross must be the cause of this immense sense of fatigue that I'm feeling in my entire body. I don't seem to be able to summon my persona, but...
Who are you? Is this all you're doing?
Fair enough.
That was a pointless question. Even if it is, what are you going to do about it? Jump down off that cross and kill me?
Look around at my surroundings. This place. Place where my companions had been captured and crucified in the past. The past where my beloved father met his unfortunate end. On top of the moon viewing tower, and this cross, only one name comes to mind.
Shuji Ikutsuki. Is this revenge for him?
Revenge. A pointless word. What do you think of the previous performance? It must have seemed like something from Ikutsuki's own mind.
Performance?
When we pursued Labrys and entered the TV world last time, the mastermind robbed Labrys of her freedom and spoke of his own evil scheme. That's right. His speech did resemble Ikutsuki's own mannerisms. That's why we narrowed down our search for the culprit to those related to Ergo research, and how we were able to gather more information.
Don't worry. He's dead. Not just dead, but killed. You must understand. You're a Kirijo.
When it's Minazuki rather than Sho, huh?
Are you trying to say that we killed him? But he was...
Yeah, he threw himself off the tower. You can't tell me that it wasn't even them that did it. Basically, Igus liberated them and he's like, oh, well, I guess I'm not getting out of this, so... I hear something dripping next to me. Crimson eyes shine coldly behind a golden mask. White and black liquid swirls around its head. The persona? Suddenly it slams the hilt of its sword into my abdomen. The blow sends my mind reeling, but I barely manage to retain consciousness.
Ikutsuki doesn't matter. You're nothing but bait after all.
What?
I've shown them how you've been captured. How touching. Your comrades are gathering one after another.
What are you after? What do you intend to do to my comrades?
Even your calm, collected facade cracks when your little friends are involved. Don't worry. You'll all die together eventually. Not just you, but all life itself. I will destroy this world. Everything will die. And this place will be reborn into a new world. His world. Where only one life remains.
His world? Preposterous. I don't know how you intend to bring this about, but I won't let you create a world like that.
I don't need your understanding. All I will do is grant a boy his wish.
Boy?
That's right. Doesn't it ring a bell, Kirijo? Your desires created that boy and gave birth to me.
What?
What?
Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Minazuki.
I'm kind of confused.
Sho Minazuki. I am the embodiment of your sins.
You were created before Mitsuru was in charge of the Kirijo group. I'm pretty sure she has nothing to do with this. You're just being a bitch for no reason.
Just take your time and wait.
Oh, Minazuki. That was the name of the report that I received from Kikuno. That's right. It was the name I saw in Shuji Ikutsuki's experiment data. If I recall correctly, that experiment was a number of pieces to the puzzle that fall into place for me.
Wait!
I raise my voice as loud as I can to the boy who has his back turned to me. Suddenly I'm struck with a sensation of something being drained from my body. My vision blurs. I desperately cling to consciousness. I must escape this place and stop his plan. I won't let him destroy this world, no matter what. Heavy, heavy, heavy. Yeah, comrade versus comrade. Feels like it's been a while since I left Yukari and Kenkun at Junez. What? Oh, so all of a sudden we're with freaking Labris. Okay. Feels like it's been a while since I left Yukari and Kenkun at Junez. One of the things I was complaining about earlier show, and it's so interesting, is that I can't tell who's talking if they don't give me some kind of point of reference. Like the first thing we went in was like, because probably in Japanese it was a lot easier to see because the way you write in Japanese, the speaking terms are very different. Like, you know, especially the personal pronouns makes it a lot easier to figure that stuff out. But in English, it's so hard until you're like, wait, okay, Yukari can, but that also is, that could be a number of different things considering that there are a couple things that were different between the P4 route and the P3 route so far. So who... card of memory data that Kikuno-san gave to me. Oh, Labris, got it. We're good. All these documents deal with the ergo research. Even within my calculation abilities, I won't be able to unlock the protection on that final file in an appreciable amount of time. It's with a slight feeling of disappointment that I finally reached the entrance of Yasogami High. I stand petrified before it. The eccentric decorations in this distorted school building look familiar, but the gigantic tower looming overhead exudes intimidation much more than when I saw it from the helicopter. I look back down the path I came from and see the town spread around the hilltop I find myself on. The town of Inaba has been twisted into a mind-numbing maze, sunken into the murk of the stagnant red waters of the fog.
There's nobody around. I hope everyone's okay.
Before I can become absorbed in my emotions, my radar detects someone approaching.
I found you.
I hear a familiar voice and see a figure coming up the hill. That's...
Yukun? Oh, thank goodness you're here.
Yeah, I was waiting for you. I knew you'd be coming here.
That's a fake one. Okay.
Huh?
Something's not right. Yukun's missing something. I don't feel any kind of warmth from him. There's none of the kind consideration that he has towards his friends. At the same time, an internal sensor begins to alert me of the presence of an approaching enemy. And my message transmits itself furiously into my senses. Eliminate the target's shadow.
You ain't Yukun. You're a shadow.
Not bad, anti-shadow suppression weapon. Then again, I never intended to deceive you by taking this form.
Showing up looking like Yukun. What's your game, buddy?
I came to warn you. Where you are is not where you should be.
What are you saying?
Don't get so worked up. Don't you know it, deep down? You know that you're nothing but trouble to them.
Can we punch this guy now?
If you'd never shown up, this town would have been peaceful. They don't think of you as a friend. You're just a nuisance that brought them discord.
That sounds like a good present. You brought Discord? Good place to chat and make friends. Let's go.
Oh, that's... But they all accepted me for who I am.
No matter what excuse you give, you're still just a weapon. The tool can never befriend a human, and you will never be
Oh yeah, no, Johnny on Bosch. Actually, it's super funny. I was thinking about it just a little while ago. Since obviously Yukari's feather pink, I was just like, oh yeah. I was thinking, yeah, the Super Sentai. Oh, it's interesting that feather pink is the leader of this group, clearly based upon the animation that was there. And then I thought, wait, Johnny on Bosch is in this game. We have a Power Ranger with a Power Ranger. This is amazing. Oh man. But I wouldn't have killed for this, to see the writing on the wall in the back there. Obviously that wasn't at all planned out. I'm sure Johnny just did, a what's it called? A call in for the thing, and ended up with the role of you back in, P4 base. And now all of a sudden they brought in Yukari and she's basically a Power Ranger. Oops.
That ain't true. That can't be.
No, I will say that everybody in Persona since Persona 3, like Persona 3 has some hit and miss voice acting in the English voice actors here and there. Not often, but there's situations where you're kind of like, ooh, that's a little stale or stiff or whatever. But everything from at least Persona 4 Golden, I can't speak to Persona 4 Base, because I know that they replaced a couple voice actors. But everything from Golden onward has been like voice acting. Brilliant. Also, one other thing, speaking of voice actors in Persona, because I don't think you were here when I mentioned it, Show. Apparently the voice actor for, oh god, what's his name again? Why am I forgetting his name now? I said it before. Doc. In P5. My brain is saying like Madori, but that's not it. Hold on. Fuck, whatever. Him. The Doc in P5. Apparently his English voice actor passed away. Maruki, there you go. At least I was close in the vowel. Maruki. Apparently his English voice actor passed away. Which is a shame. I found out about that through a series I've been looking at with Japanese culture analysis of P5 in particular. I am a machine and I was created as a weapon. Nothing but a tool that destroys shadows. There's no way something like me can befriend people. My heart begins to crumble. I came this far, but...
What about you, Labras? What'll you do?
I hope Mitsuru-san and the others are okay. Could you please go right to that tower? We'll head over there too as soon as we can.
So the only reason I bring that up also is because of the fact that while we have Adachi coming back, again, that's through the luck of having Johnny and Bosch again to play both ends of the spectrum there. But if they ever came out with a P5 Ultimax, unlikely at this point considering how long it's been, but if they ever did, It looks like they'll either have to recast Maruki or not have Maruki as part of the story. But considering that both Arc System Works and Atlas are a Japanese company, they probably will have to recast Maruki if they bring him in. They're not going to think about it. They only think about recasting when it comes to, oh, the Japanese voice actor passed away? Cough, cough, Igor? Okay, so we got to figure out something there. That's right. I came here from the trust of my comrades. That's why I won't falter anymore. Yes, I love this song.
A weapon. My body is mechanical and my heart was given to me. No matter what I wish I was, I can never be human.
Oh.
But Yukun and them, Mitsuru-san and Yukari-san, and even Ken-kun all think of me as someone
Oh, this is one of my favorite themes in P3. Specifically, obviously, from The Answer. Because this is basically Aigis' theme, but I think it's now basically anti-shadow weapon theme in general.
I'm the 5th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon. I'm Labris, a member of the Shadow Operatives.
I see. Since you just awakened to your persona, I thought you could be shaken up again. But circumstances have changed.
For Igor, yeah, no, that's it was brilliant tactic. But in English, for some reason, they did change Igor's voice. Because hearing Igor's voice here in P4 Ultimax is completely different from the one that of the true Igor from P5. You gonna take a shower, by the way?
I'll have to change you by force.
Either that, or if they did get the same exact voice actor, then he's playing it slightly differently. Oh, by the way, one of the things that I found interesting, again, going back to P5, sorry I'm talking about P5 a lot in a P4 game that should be only P4 and P3, really. But I find it interesting that Igor always welcomes the protag using okay, I'll go take a look in a second. Welcome to the Velvet Room. Whereas the fake Igor, the one that ends up being Yaldabaoth, says, welcome to my Velvet Room. It's just like, there was a hint from the beginning. Nice. Alright, be right back. Give me a second. I gotta check something for JD. Alright. With that, the fake Hugh draws his sword, and at the same time, 4 pillars fall from the sky and land around us. I'm trapped. This will have invisible walls just like that other time. This closed-off space won't open until one of us is defeated. In other words,
You really want to do this, huh? Sorry, but I ain't about to hold back.
Don't underestimate me. I may be artificial, but I'm a complete copy, based on everything there is to know about the real person. Prove it to you. Persona!
No way. They can't be.
Now, show the true power of an anti-shadow weapon.
Alright, let's go. Oh, and another thing that came with that thing, I'll talk about it afterwards with P5.
Final.
Push on through. On me.
first. There we go. Alrighty. That was a good timing for the end of the song too. But the other bit that I was thinking of was
A good fight.
P5. What was it?
Sufficient. My objective has been accomplished.
Dang it, what was it I was thinking of? I did mention the Igor hint at the beginning. Oh, right. That actually Royal you did mention the director left Atlas entirely of P5, and I found out recently through those Society deep dives that in specific, apparently he left after P5 but before Royal. So that means everything that was Royal related was done without, I'm going to use this word, but it's not what you'll get what I mean. Without his consent, without his input. That's the word I was looking for. Without his input. Which, in hindsight, feels really appropriate. Because a lot of the stuff that was Royal only felt really different. Outside of, like, anything that was more mechanical than story-driven. Anything story-driven, like, I was going to say Kawakami, Kasumi, like Sumi and Maruki felt like a complete separate thing, which makes sense when, the director wasn't there. When it had a whole different director for that. But it still worked very well, I believe, even though it felt a little different. Even though I'd fought fiercely, my body performed smoothly thanks to my recent maintenance. And the fake Yukun had fallen to the ground at my final strike. And its form begins to bubble into a black ooze and fall apart.
It really was a shadow.
The melting Yukun suddenly spits out balls of golden light, and these orbs pass through the school gate and fly upwards toward the top of the tower, illuminating the school building. Over the school building. But also the director, apparently. Like the actual creative director. Then you said the sound director, but the creative director also left. Let's say that. Sounds of our battle echoed away, and the silence enveloped the arena again. Koromaru!
Labra-san! Ken-kun! Koromaru-san!
I'm overcome with a surprise as Ken-kun makes his way toward me. Koromaru-san had been at Ken-kun's side, but he dashes over to me.
I'm so glad you're safe. Is something wrong?
Yeah, which is a shame when they got that many people leaving, I suppose, yeah. But I still have some faith. It could be that, although in a Japanese company, I suppose that's a little strange. But it could be that some people want to work on something different and the company is not allowing it because what they're doing is selling very well. They're like, no, keep making us more money with this stuff. They're tired and they want to work on something else. Or it could be something very bad. We don't know until we see what comes next. Because other than these cash grab Persona releases, which, to be fair, much like with when I purchased Lord of the Rings Extended Edition, having never purchased Lord of the Rings in the first place, not exactly a cash grab when I never really played these games in the first place. Like, the only one that was kind of cash grabby for me that I paid for at the moment is P4G, since you had given me the PSTV and Vita version. I could have done that, but honestly, the Steam version was done very well. Ooh. I think the only person who's a sound director that I enjoyed his games was, I'm forgetting the dude's name, but basically the dude who directed Silent Hill 2, 3, and 4. So, not to say that a sound director can't do game stuff, because that proves you wrong, Breeze. If that was what you were trying to say, you're wrong, because look.
Nah, I'm okay.
I won't be deceived any longer. We have to save the others and solve this case as soon as we can. Ken-kun seems to notice my resolve and nods to
If
me.
anything comes up, please feel free to talk to me about it. That is, if you're okay with sharing it with me.
I thank Ken-kun. And then we suggest we compare whatever information we gathered up until now. The enemy seems to be using fakes made of shadows to challenge us to fight. Kenkun reports that he encountered a copy of himself, but he was saved by Kanji-kun and Naoto-kun in the nick of time. Thank goodness. Yu-kun and his friends have noticed the strange situation that had befallen this town. I decided to tell Kenkun about what happened a moment ago, including my own unease as well. As far as Megura-san, in the game he's making, is he making it as an indie or is he making it with a different studio? Out of curiosity.
I see. That must have been tough. Yeah, I got to wondering what I would do if the real Yukon thought the same way. And that got me all scared. It's difficult to truly believe in other people. Kenkun? It would be easy for me to say that he'd never think that way about you. But people are weak. They can't help but believe in things that make life easier for them. That's only deceiving yourself, though. You need to have resolve if you want to learn the truth. Even if that means getting hurt yourself. Resolve. If you're worried about the truth, then I believe you should go to him directly and find out how he feels. Otherwise, you'll never be true friends.
Which, that usually breeds indie, but that doesn't mean it can't be published by a more major publisher after being developed via indie routing. I must tighten my watch too much because I feel like a weird flattening right here.
Kenkun. Oh, I'm sorry for being so impolite. It's easy to tell others to learn unpleasant truths, but it's more like I'm trying to convince myself.
Maru-san stares up at me. I feel like he's telling me what Kenkun is saying is right. I should just find out for myself. If Yu-kun and his friend are headed here as well, then I'll see them eventually. I should use that time to...
I see. A relationship between two people cannot be formed until they speak their minds to one another. Doing so...
Who's there?
Oh, hi Theo. I forgot that he was here. I was actually surprised he was here when he first showed up, but I forgot he was here. A silver-haired man wearing a dark blue clothing steps from the shadows of the school gate. Where did he come from? My radar didn't detect him at all. Wait, I'm still not detecting him.
Who are you?
Ah, how truly rude of me. My name is Theodore.
God, his voice is reminding me a little of Yusuke at the moment. I don't know why.
I didn't intend to eavesdrop on you, but as I wandered in search of cola, I found myself here.
That blue costume. Are you connected to Elizabeth?
A vibrant shade of blue. His distinctive clothing looks familiar. Elizabeth, the girl who I met during the previous case, who also helped me remember a number of things. She appeared in my dream earlier today too, and said something deeply meaningful things before disappearing. The man standing before me has an air similar to hers.
My, so you know of my sister.
Labra-san, is this person an enemy?
Neutral party. Neutral party. Let's go with that.
Probably not. Elizabeth helped me realize a ton of stuff, but... well, she came on a little strong sometimes.
That's why I say neutral party. Not an ally, but definitely not an enemy, so neutral party.
Oh? Was she rude to you? She once forced me to eat a large quantity of cinnamon, and I thought my mouth was going to be desiccated forever.
That does sound like Elizabeth.
Cinnamon?
Please, don't worry about it. It is merely a bittersweet page from our youths.
I see. Oh, right. My name's Labris. This is Kenkun and Koromaru-san. They're my... well... It's nice to meet you, Theodore. We're Labris-san's comrades. Comrades.
Thank you for the polite introductions. It is a pleasure to meet you.
Comrades. I was embarrassed, but the way Kenkun said it without any hesitation warms my heart. I do have many comrades right now who are with me. The way they interact with me naturally makes me think that perhaps I'm the only one who minds what I am. I feel like such a fool for being so anxious, but I can't help but smile.
By the way, on a different subject, has anyone seen my sister Elizabeth anywhere?
Elizabeth? Nah. The last time I saw her was in a dream. I haven't seen her around here.
Is that so? There's something I was meaning to ask her if I managed to find her. I saw traces of cinnamon along the road here, so I thought that she might have come this way.
That's a weird connection to make, but considering your traumatizing childhood, you know, fair. Elizabeth is here? She said in a dream that she was searching for power. Does that mean, if she happened to come across this town while it's in such a special situation, wouldn't it make sense that she would come to this tower?
Ah, please forgive me. It seems I've detained you for too long. Please, do not be alarmed. I have no intention of getting in your way.
Oh, actually, you want to know, this actually brings up something really interesting. So that means Theo is, I mean, I guess it was also proven by PQ, but Theo is canon in every version of Persona 3. He just doesn't show up when it's a male protagonist, period. Unless, in P3P, can you still choose Theo as the attendant even as a male? I know that you could as a female, because I got far enough in P3P to know that. Okay, now you got me questioned. I was hoping that you would have followed up that with some more information, but I'm going to look it up now. Guns on Darkness. Oh, it's already on Steam. It looks really rough from the screenshots, but these could be just early stuff. And he's self-publishing. This is publisher Shoji Meguro, developer Shoji Meguro. Reminds me a lot of Soul Hackers right now as far as some of the design goes. But turn-based tactical JRPG inspired by Metal Gear Solid and Persona. Oh, cool. So not only has it got Meguro-san, but also apparently Kuvishinov from Ghost in the Shell, Standalone Complex, and The Wonderland, and Lotus Juice, of course. It would not surprise me that Lotus Juice would have collaborated with Shoji again. The images here look a little rough, but if he's developing this on his own, I mean, that's fair. It's literally just those three working on it. It being this rough is fair enough, fair place. Stealth RPG, so I'm getting Metal Gear Acid vibes, and that's not exactly great, but hopefully he does better than Metal Gear Acid, in my opinion. Anyway, back to this game, right?
Oh, that's right. We need to hurry.
Huh? But don't we have to wait for Yukari-san?
Do you remember what that General Teddy said when he showed up on the monitor?
Oh, if we don't fight and win the P1 climax within an hour, the world will end.
Yes, that's why I think it's important we rescue Mitsuru-san and the others as quickly as possible. Yukari-san will be fine. Junpei-san's strong too, after all.
Ken-kun seems sure that Yukari-san and Junpei-san will be alright. Is this what it means to believe in others?
All right, let's go. See you, Theodore.
Please, take care. Still, where am I to obtain this cola?
Theodore walks away, mumbling to himself. Then the three of us head to the school building. I was gonna say, why didn't she call him like Teddy? And I was like, oh, wait. Wait a minute. You don't want to confuse that much. When we enter the school building, we find that the red fog has filled the halls as well, ruining our visibility. The hallways seem to go on forever, and the classrooms lining both sides are distorted. Though this is similar to the way the building had been in the TV world, the red fog increases the creepiness tenfold. The fog even mutes our footsteps as we proceed. As we walk along, Koromaru-san growls.
Koromaru-san? It would seem there's someone inside this classroom.
A door reading music room is slightly ajar. That was more Bostonian. Give me a second. A door reading music room was slightly ajar. And the fog is pouring through the crack. I put my hand to on the door. Kenkun and I silently nod at one another. I throw open the door and Kenkun and Koromaru-san rush inside. I follow them. In the center of the music room is a cross, just like the ones we saw on the monitor in the helicopter. Present tied to it is Akihiko-san!
Sonata-san, we'll get you down at once!
Who? Ken?
Kenkun rushes over to the cross and unbinds Akihiko-san. Akihiko-san's quite weak, and he stumbles once he's released from the rope. Kenkun and I hold him up on our shoulders.
Thanks for saving me.
This changed too.
Ken.
What the heck happened?
Labris.
I'm confused.
And Koromaru too?
I thought we were just going to see what was happening with some of these other characters while the P3, while the P4 gang was doing what they were doing. But some of this stuff is changing, like, majorly.
Sorry to barge in on you. I couldn't wait to hear your stories, so I came here.
Yeah, sure.
I'm glad you're so impatient. Sorry about this.
I'm glad you're safe now. Where are the others?
Ah, am I late again? Sorry, guys, my bad.
I turn around in surprise from the sudden voice behind us. A man wearing a backwards baseball cap is standing at the music room's door.
Oh, hey, Ken and Koromaru. And, are you Labris?
Is this the real Junpei?
Junpei-san, it's been a long time. I'm glad you made it here. Did you run into Yukari-san along the way?
Junpei-san. Beginning personnel scan. Identified. Junpei Iori. As I thought, is another member of Mitsuru-san's comrades from high school. He's currently listed as a member of the auxiliary staff of the Shadow Operatives.
Glad? You're glad about stealing the limelight from me?
Nope, this one's fake. There you go. Kenkun's expression changes. He quietly moves his spear into a combat position. Cannon. Subject is confirmed as a shadow.
You're on to me already, huh? Oh well, I wasn't gonna try to hide it anyway.
I've never faced Junpei-san before.
Kenkun laughs at himself and takes a step forward. Koromaru-san stands close by him. Seeing the two of them so ready for battle makes me blurt out my doubt.
Hey, Kenkun, are you okay with fighting somebody who looks just like one of your buddies? I mean, aren't you afraid? Like, what if that's the real one?
Kenkun smiles at me. Then he explains himself in a tone of voice that makes me feel silly for even doubting him.
That's a silly question, Labris-san. Even if it did turn out to be the real Junpei-san, if I'm truly being challenged, then I can never back down.
Truly challenged?
Yes. When it comes down to it, I will stand up and fight for anything I truly believe in, even if I must do so against my own companions.
Looks like you're finally learning to talk like that, Ken.
Akihiko-san!
Labris, let me tell you something. Even if the enemy you face is someone you once counted as a friend, in a battle for your beliefs, the bonds formed between true comrades will never break.
Are you trying to bore me to submission? Let's get this over with already. Bring on the ring!
The fake Junpei-san summons the red pillars. Akihiko-san looks confused for a moment, but Kenkun explains the rules to him.
Selfish rules as always. Now, normally I'd take him on, but let me take a quick break from the fighting for now.
Wow. Akihiko's not gonna fight? That's when you know something's wrong.
Yes, please rest, Sonata-san. We can handle this.
Akihiko-san smiles happily and takes a step back. Kenkun stands firmly in front of the shadow and takes a position. His resolve is so powerful that this young man looks so strong. Even to me. But I can't forget that I'm a Shadow Operative as well.
I can do it too.
I'll click Labrys. I'm more comfortable with Labrys. Let's go. Clouds. It's a screensaver, technically.
Finally.
Right, here we go. Ah, nice go for that one.
You're in trouble now. Hold on me. Give it up.
Don't start worrying.
That was close.
Victory smiles upon us. Lay low, lay high.
Okay. Because doing Ken and Komaru was a little awkward when I had to fight Ken. Cracks form in the red pillars as they crumble to dust and then vanish entirely. At the same time, the form of the fake Junpei-san melts into a black vortex. The proof that we had been fighting a fake makes me feel a little relieved.
Are you alright, Sonata-san?
Yeah, I wish I could say I was, but I'm pretty exhausted. I won't be able to call on my persona for a while. I guess that cross drains the spiritual energy from whoever's stuck on it.
Oromaru speaks up as if trying to get our attention. The remains of the shadow swirling in the center of the room releases small balls of light that rise into the void above the room.
Weird. The same thing happened to the fake Yukun too.
It's flowing up. Does that mean it's being collected somehow? What in the world is that?
There's something else that I've noticed. Everyone in Inaba, aside from us Persona users, has vanished. Doesn't that remind you of the Dark Hour and Tartarus?
That's ominous. If I remember right from last time we were here, the enemy was trying to turn personas into shadows and collect their power. And we know all too well what happens when shadows gather in Tartarus.
Sonata-san, immediately after we reached Inaba, we were attacked by someone who looked very similar to Ikutsuki.
Ikutsuki? That's impossible. We saw him.
Yes, though I don't know if it was really him. But one of the Persona users from Inaba, Naoto-san, knew about Ikutsuki.
The detective, huh? So they're running around out there too.
Indeed. I wanted to find an explanation to this situation as soon as possible, so we shared what we knew with each other.
This is their town. No matter how much we might try to stop them, they have the right to protect this place. Mitsuru knows that at least, though it seems like she was trying to bear the entire burden herself again. And they're all incredibly skilled too. If we can meet up with them, we'll be able to solve this case that much quicker. You made the right call, Ken.
Thank you.
Ikutsuki, huh? If he's really behind this, then we're at even more of a disadvantage.
And while we talked about Ikutsuki during the P4 run through of this, there's no evidence that he was there. So a lot of things have changed between this the original content and what is considered DLC, at least according to Exterminator. I can't remember who it was the other day. It didn't come to mind. Sorry, but yeah. Apparently, this and the I was gonna say Akechi, but no, Adachi story are DLC in the original game. So
sorry, Ken, but let me make sure I've got it all straight.
Akihiko-san's recovered his senses somewhat. We both explained the sequence of events we've experienced up until this point.
So we fell right into the enemy's trap and got ourselves captured. How careless of us.
No time to waste here. Akihiko-san's far from his normal condition, but he appears to have recovered enough to be able to walk around on his own. We leave the music room and decide to look for some stairs so we can head up. Since the remains of the fakes were all going upwards, we concluded that there must be something above us that they're all going to.
By the way, Sonata-san, how have Mitsuru-san and the others been? I haven't seen them in a while.
I hadn't seen her in a long time till I got back either. Don't worry, she hasn't changed at all. If anything, she seemed even more dreadful.
I see. I don't know if I should feel relieved or worried.
What, does Mitsuru-san scare you two? She's always really nice to me.
You just don't know how frightening she can be. Try getting hit with that kick of hers. You won't eat normally for a week.
She's very intense. And that's coming from me. Now that I think about it, I can't believe she was just a high school student when we met.
Huh. If that's the case, then I'll try asking her to start being nicer to you two.
I almost feel like that would be scarier.
You can't.
Yeah, see.
You don't have to get so flustered, you know?
These two had been so calm and rational when gonna comfort the fake Junpei-san. Seeing them so distraught over the thought of this, I can't help but laugh. Akihiko-san and Ken-kun smile with embarrassment. Oromaru-san walks on coolly as if this was no concern of his. It must be rather difficult to express your true feelings. We might end it here because it's already 11:30. Okay, so this is a good point to end. Tomorrow, I'm not 100% sure what we're doing. If only just because we got something came up specifically to do with the esports stuff that we were looking at. But that's the issue, is that I'm not sure what's the plan there, because I was asked to come over today to help set up, which was very, very late, to which I, told them that I couldn't, just because I had other plans. Plus, I had some work things that I had to do. That's why I was late. We did that out. But I did ask whether or not they needed me tomorrow, and I haven't gotten an answer yet. So we will have to see. Either way, we'll see what happens. If I end up doing something specifically with the esports stuff tomorrow, keep an eye on Twitch for that in specific, just because of the fact that Twitch holds all my stuff. We'll hold all my stuff regarding that, just so that we can keep everything like on par there. And then, yeah. Other than that, if I don't do that, then I'll do some streaming tomorrow of P4U. If I do that, I'll do that tomorrow. Earlier, much earlier. I'll keep an eye on Twitter. That's probably where I'll make the announcement thereof. And then then we'll just continue this over on Sunday or Monday, depending on how I'm feeling. Either way, you guys have all been 10 out of 10 with me, and I will see you guys come tomorrow for whatever shows up. Just keep it on Twitter and Twitch, because either way I'll be multi-streaming, so it'll be on Twitch or it will be exclusively on Twitch in either case. So you guys have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, wherever it is that you are.